East Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at netsn.live.
Well, good evening, everyone. We are back here, Harrington Stadium. It is week number 2 of the football season, and the Brook Hill Guard are at home tonight, the home opener, and they are taking on the Frisco Legacy Christian Academy Eagles. Jeremy Hubbard alongside Chad Grubbs once again. Chad, first off, last week was a great week, a big win for the Guard on the road at Redwater in a game where you're trying to fill some things out, and now tonight they get tested. Great opportunity last week, come away with a win at your first game of the season, and now first home game. It's time to show out. It's going to be a nice crowd here tonight. And so the first game, as always, is the Texas National Bank American Warrior Bowl. And so that means that we will have some veterans and some first responders, things of that nature, that will be recognized before the game gets underway, and they'll be on the field for the national anthem. And so as soon as that ceremony starts, we will go down to the field and hear Coach Wally Dawkins, athletic director here at Brook Hill, as he introduces those. First off, I want to thank our man Ron Owens up on top as he's on the camera tonight, and we know it's going to be a great night of football. The weather is good, Chad. Now, I will tell you this. It's clear. I don't think we're going to get any rain. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'll tell you what, it's not. It is not cool. It is extremely hot out there. It is so muggy out there. They're going to have to keep hydrated, make sure these guys don't cramp up tonight, because this is a opportunity for that to happen. I want to make sure you mention, if you're watching tonight alongside of us and you're near the chat or in the chat, drop us a line and let us know where you're watching from. We are on air extremely early tonight. We normally don't come on until about 10 minutes before kickoff, but we want to get this ceremony in, so this will be on. We will be here. It'll all be live, and you'll hear it on the field. We won't be with you, and we'll come back and kind of set up the game, because the way this night flows, Chad, is also we both have coached here, and so we know how this night is different, because those guys have warmed up now, or they're done warming up, and the game's not for 40 more minutes. So really, I know Coach Rao has kind of got it down to a T a little bit, to where what they have to do is go out there, get loose. You get your guard dog, one of the coolest things we do at Brook Hill, right? Then you come out, you have this ceremony, you have the national anthem, and then you got about 2 or 3 minutes to get loose again. It's a challenge. It is, and that's something that, we do have the opportunity of having that experience in the past, where necessarily Frisco Legacy does not have that. So you may see a sluggish start on both sides, or you may see them both come out ready to roll. Well, we are glad you're with us here tonight. Last week, we were working a bunch of kinks out. Week 1, we're trying to make it all work tonight here in week 2. We feel like we have the table set for what should be a great night of football, a great broadcast, a great night, the Texas National Bank American Warrior Bowl. This is something that's been going on for a number of years. And, Chad, as long as you've been around Brook Hill, I think it's been going on. It used to not be exactly what it is now. It didn't always have the it used to be a weekend of 3 games, honestly. When I was first around Brook Hill now, 13, 14 years ago, there was a game on Thursday that featured 2 out-of-town teams, another game on Thursday featured 2 out-of-town teams, and then on Friday, or on Saturday night rather, you'd have the Brook Hill game. I remember I don't remember exactly what year you were first here, but my first experience in the Warrior Bowl, we played Eureka, California in the first one. And so we've had teams from California here. We've had teams from Florida here. We've had all kind of teams here. And now it just has kind of transformed to where the weekend has gone away, and it's just the first home game, and it's the biggest crowd of the night. The tailgate, you can't see it right now, but you'll see it during the game. The tailgate's alive and popping tonight, and just a lot of things going on. It may be it'll rival our homecoming game as the biggest crowd of the year. It's a different crowd, right? Absolutely. The homecoming game will have a bunch of former people here. Tonight just brings out a lot of families that maybe – and it's new, right? It's the beginning of the season. Right. And, it's people, hey, they hear Brook Hill's having this Warrior Bowl, and it's, they might not necessarily be part of Brook Hill, and they're out here participating in the festivities. It's a pretty fun night, as you can see down there on the camera now, as the veterans are starting to come out and get ready to go. And, Chad, we've both talked about this numerous times. There are not – national anthem time in a football game is pretty emotional. Like, it just can be. Everybody laughs at the Eagles head coach a couple years ago that was crying on the field or whatever. But this is really special, because you're going to get a bunch of veterans out there on the field and what they've done for our country. And then both teams are out there. And I just know there's times you're just like, man, this is one of the most surreal moments you've had at a high school football game. Yeah, it's something that it is. It's you can't put it into words sometimes, because you're sitting down there getting ready to take the national anthem for
and you're standing right across from somebody across the middle of the infield, and they've fought for us to be able to come out here and talk football, the kids to be able to come out here and play football. It's a special night.
And I think what has happened over the course of time, of course, Brook Hill, of course, has all this national historical memorials to these different things, right, in the museum, and then the 2 memorials outside. Actually, I think 3 memorials now outside of the museum. And what I think has happened, Chad, is a lot of these veterans now, even if they're not related to Brook Hill people, I think they all just kind of gather here now. And this is kind of one of the times I saw all the old, they have the Jeeps and the vehicles out there. And I think these guys, it's just a chance for them to get together and see each other once a year.
Absolutely. And I also saw the motorcycle group. They were down there. And you'll drive by, just being able to drive by on the weekends, and you'll see multiple cars and people walking around the wall monuments that we have, and just it's a special place. You get people talk to you all the time. They hear you're from Brook Hill, and it's like, is that a military school? No, it's not, but it is.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, but it's not. I mean, no, that's the thing about Mr. DeMint and what he has put together here. Obviously, just the school itself and his vision for the school that I know we'll talk about over the course of the year. We're not going to go 10 weeks without talking about that, right? But, just honestly, all the things that he has put together in the museum and the importance he places on our military and on our country, if you've ever been around Brook Hill and haven't spent some time in the museum, you're kind of wasting your time here because it's so incredible.
It is. We're very blessed to be able to be on a campus that has something. Their rivals, something that you would see in New York City or in Washington, D.C., little old Bullard, Texas. It might not be all that big, but the stuff that's in it is really, really neat.
It's pretty incredible, and I hope our kids don't take that for granted. I know that a lot of them who have been here for a while, maybe it's kind of old hat. We're going to go down to the field now for the ceremony with Coach Wally Dawkins. Well, sorry, we said we were going to go down. He was just making an announcement. It's going to be 3 or 4 minutes, which actually gives us time to get this crowd mic working again, because it was on, and then it wasn't, Chad. And so it's because the battery's low. We're going to have to find the charger for this while we're doing this. Well, so a little production on the fly. It never hurt anybody, I guess. But talk a little bit. I only have a couple minutes. The team's coming through, and I hope Ron – see this. One of the coolest things about Brook Hill, Chad, and this, is the guard dog program, and the fact that those young guys get to go out there and hang out with our football players before the game. They get to walk out into the stadium with our players. It's one of the coolest moments for those little guys.
I can remember growing up, I looked up to those guys that were playing high school football, high school baseball, and for these elementary kids to be able to really – it's their heroes, right? That's all they know is a hero. It may be their dad, but the next thing as a hero to them is these football players, these high school kids, and to be able to walk out the tunnel that they're fixing to do and run on this field, it's really special for those young kids.
The guard dog program is one that's also been around for a while, and now we're getting kids that are old enough, Chad. I know my son especially graduated last year, but he got to be a guard dog for guys a long time ago, and now he was a guard dog. And it's just a special thing that we do. Let's go ahead and take it down to the field and Coach Dawkins.
Cheer competition team and our Brook Hill varsity football team. Our football team, each player is accompanied by a member of the Pet Supplies Guard Dogs. The Guard Dogs are an organization of lower Here come those guard dogs. There's about 85 of them. The Pet Supplies Plus Guard Dogs.
next building over, next room over. Just won't reach any further than that, but oh, we can do a little bit. You think it'll go in that thing right there? Let's try it off this way.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Texas National Bank Brook Hill American Warrior Bowl. This is the 12th annual Warrior Bowl, where we honor our veterans, our active duty military, first responders, to honor Chief Warrant Officer 3, Steve Dwyer, an Army Black Hawk pilot in the 160th Special Operations Aviation Unit, who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country in November of 2023. Colonel Howard L. Kravitz served 30 years in the U.S. Air Force and was a Vietnam veteran and recipient of the Distinguished Flying Cross. He is recognized in the stands today by Brook Hill graduates James Shipp, Luke Hempel, and current senior Zach Hempel. Lieutenant Commander Alexander Knowles, U.S. Navy Submarine Warrant Officer. U.S. Army Combat Veteran Staff Sergeant Adam Troy. Adam participated in 2 deployments in support of Iraqi freedom and deployment to Operation Enduring Freedom. Awarded 2021 Texas Governor's Volunteer of the Year Award for his nonprofit. And Adam's brother, who is not in attendance, U.S. Army First Sergeant Drew Troy, is currently stationed in South Korea. U.S. Army Combat Veteran Sergeant Destiny Troy, with 2 deployments in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Lieutenant Junior Grade Michael Hall, Senior Navy, escorted by Eli Hall. Sergeant Eric Miller, Marine Corps. Petty Officer First Class Jeremiah Crafton, U.S. Coast Guard Commandment's Letter of Commendation and Silver Life-Saving Medal. Sergeant Corey Smoker, U.S. Army Reserve. Sergeant Wayne Walton, U.S. Air Force Morse Code Operator, Vietnam. Captain Jared Drayton Madrazo, U.S. Army veteran, escorted by Brook Hill football player Gio Orico. First Lieutenant Gil Reed, U.S. Army Signal Corps, 32nd Army Air Defense Command, escorted by Cade, Dax, Nelson, and Austin Reed. Second Battalion D. Merritt, 4th Marines, Fox Company, Vietnam. Lieutenant Jordan Russell, U.S. Army retired, father of Madison and Maverick Russell. Sergeant Jason Godbold, served in the Cold War, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, SF-0R7, Iraqi Freedom, and Korea Defense, M1A1, Tanker, and Signal. Petty Officer, 2nd Class, Philip Beckman, U.S. Navy Seabees, escorted by Sarah Smith. Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Hudson, U.S. Army Infantry and Special Operations, serving in Afghanistan and Iraq, completing 8 deployments and 2 combat jumps. Tech Sergeant Fred Emery, Air Force, 72 to 92, escorted by Emery Morris. Firefighter, paramedic Jason Tanner, 2004 to current, escorted by Riley Morris. Army Specialist Edgar Berwick, generator gas turbine mechanic, 1969-70, escorted by Hudson Morris. Captain Patrick Hammond, Army. Tex R. Matechka, U.S. Marines, Vietnam, forward observer, radio operator, and finished his service in 29 Palms, California. T.J. Foster, EMT, escorted by Drew Weisner. Petty Officer, 2nd Class, Chuck Kelly, U.S. Navy veteran, signalman, and pilot rescue, swimmer, All of 3 of Mr. Kelly's children also served in the U.S. Navy between 2011 and 2021. Kenneth Comerfeld, Army veteran, escorted by Lily, Paige, and Mylan Comerfeld, and Andrew and Grace Farrar. Greg Frymer, ER doctor, escorted by Abby Frymer. Staff Sergeant Jack Pomseskin, U.S. Air Force, 66 to 70, escorted by Henry, Benjamin, and Hailey Cake. Senior Airman Caden Wofford, U.S. Air Force, and Brook Hill alumni. Frank Hansen, U.S. Army Special Forces, 67-68, National Defense Medal, Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal, Bronze Star for Heroism, and Purple Heart Medal. Warrant Officer Mike McEwen, U.S. Army Reserve, serving in his 20th year. Kent Westbrook, Army 101 1st Airborne, Vietnam. Sergeant Harvey Jones, U.S. Army retired, escorted by Hayden Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these patriots, these outstanding group of men and women who have served our country, some making the ultimate sacrifice, let's give them a big round of applause. At this time, we ask you to please rise for the presentation of the colors presented by the Brook Hill Cannon Guard under the direction of Steve DeMint. Please remain standing as we are led in prayer by Brook Hill head football coach Scott Ryle. Coach Ryle is also a veteran of the U.S. Army and served 2 tours of duty in Iraq as a team recon leader.
Let us pray. God, we're so thankful that we can live in a country that we can pray about you, believe in you. God, we're just so thankful for these people that sacrifice for us. God, we're just be over the game tonight, be over Frisco as they travel home. God, just be with both teams that we may honor and glorify you in how we play. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please remain standing. Gentlemen, remove your hats as we are led in the singing of our national anthem by Brook Hill Choral Director, Mr. John Starling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, man, what a few minutes there. Chill bumps there,
Yeah.
Chad. You got them?
Got him.
That's our own John Starling. You heard the voice of Wally Dawkins with the ceremony there. Our man John Starling, of course, the choral director here at Brook Hill. And anytime that my man John sings, it is special, and he does a great job. And I think you could hear that coming through in the job that he did. All right, now, all that's out of the way. We're thankful for all of our veterans. It was a moving ceremony, as always, one of the better ones we've had. I feel like a lot of people here. But now, Chad, it's time to play football. Let's talk a little bit about these Legacy Christian Eagles. They are a pretty good football team.
Not a bad football team at all. Head coach Doug Hicks, they're bringing back 15 lettermen on offense, 6 on offense, 5 on defense, and then a few more added in there. They went 8-5 last year. Started out the season 1-0. They beat Irvin Desertion last week 35-6, and they are ranked number 5 in the Division I TAPS classification. Let's talk a little bit about players to watch. Let's talk about first on defense. Number 32, Sam Jones. Boy, he is a heavy hitter. Get ready to watch him tonight. And then number 77, Jude Womack. He holds some Division I offers, and he's going to be a good one to keep your eyes on also. On offense, players to watch. Number 8, their quarterback, Luke Lawrence. He's got a good arm. He's mobile, and he's a good ball player. Again, number 77, Jude Womack. And number 13, Brendan Bays, receiver. They try to get the football to him, and if he can get it, he can do some special things with it. They are going to be it's hard to say just coming off of just 1 week of film and getting to see what they do, but they're going to be 50-50 probably, maybe a hair more pass-wise, but they're going to spread it out and see how you align to it, and then if they need to, they can run the football. And when Sam Jones is in there, he's going to lower the load. For Brook Hill, let's talk about our defense with defensive coordinator David Collins. Players to watch tonight, our linebacker Hayden Watson. Then you've got a defensive lineman, number 72, Sidney LaRoe, and he is one that holds many, many offers. I believe he's going to SMU tomorrow, and he is I would love to see him and 77 going at it tonight. I hope they're across from each other and see who can win out between Jude and Sidney. And then safety, Cody Clark. Look for big things from Cody tonight. Offensively, offensive coordinator Kyle Copeland. We are going to players to watch will be number 24, P.A. LaPointe, number 0, Gandy. Grant has not played any this season. He banged up a little bit in the scrimmages, so tonight's going to be his first action a little bit, see what we can see of Grant. Number 9, wide receiver Daniel Yates. Did some special things last week with the ball in the air, went and made some good catches. Look for a big night from Daniel. And number 1, Zachary Ryle. He has a big arm. He showed that last week. And, I believe that Legacy, they're going to be ready for that. But, I think Zach's ready to roll. Head coach Scott Ryle led us, and Brook Hill is number 10 in Division II. And we beat Redwater last week 39-14. Talking with Coach Copeland and Coach Collins, they're excited. Hey, Frisco Legacy, they're going to be good. It's going to be a really good matchup tonight. We're excited to see how our guys match up against a Division I school. They used to be in our district when we were closer in enrollment, and we've been up there and played a couple times, but we should see a really good ball game tonight.
Well, and the hard part, you talked about last year with Legacy. This is another school that this year they got a lot of new players. They got a lot of transfers in. You mentioned some of those guys that were key players last week, and even as I was watching their stream last week, hearing them talk about all of their new players, it was almost like they're trying to learn their team too. So I think these two teams are very similar, Chad, in that regard, that they both have a lot of talent. They're both trying to make it work, and this is another step for both of them. Last week, neither one of them were tested like they're going to be tested tonight.
Right. It's going to be a really good matchup. It's going to be you always like those smash mouth games, and I think this one can be one of those.
So we are down here for the getting ready to start pregame stuff. There's still about 6 minutes left before the game starts. I will tell you now also that we're trying to get the scoreboard hooked up here. We may be having to go radio style a little bit in the sense that we're having to kind of tell you the time and the score like we have been or like we have had to do last week. Ron's showing you the crowd there. There is a great crowd here tonight. And the flag there, you see Ron showing Project One Roofing?
Yeah, Project One Roofing.
Richard Davis brought that out tonight, and that is a huge flag. And the crowd there you see on the knoll, it's an exciting night. We're still getting the captains. Brook Hill's still stretching. Frisco's over there waiting. I think the captains there, Chad, for Legacy, if you got those.
Yeah, I got them. Number 50, Jackson Douglas. Number 11, George Proctor. And number 21, Jackson Ladd.
We haven't seen the captains yet for Brook Hill. Last week we know who they were, but we don't want to jump the gun, Chad, on this one. And this is another big week for Brook Hill in a lot of ways, because also the bye week is an early bye week for Brook Hill next week. And so you played a game last week against Redwater. You kind of got everything going. Now you get another one tonight against Legacy, a good football team. And then the seniors leave Sunday morning to go on the senior trip. And so there's no game next week. Your practice next week won't be as intense because there's going to be less guys there. The seniors will all be gone. It's a lot of seniors on this football team. And then you have one more non-district game, and then it's time for the real ones.
Yeah, you get ready. You come back. And it's a unique thing that we do here at Brook Hill. You know, the senior trip, and then they do a middle school retreat. So it's kind of dead around here. You know, you really only from Wednesday to Friday, you've only really got freshmen and through juniors on campus.
True.
So it is different, but it is something that, again, Coach Ryle has done it ever since he's been here, and it's been something that he's gotten used to. Captains for the guard tonight, we've got number 1, Zachary Ryle, number 15, Cole Schluter, number 28, Hayden Watson, and number 3, Gio Orico.
Yeah, and, you know, Gio, of course, suffered that injury a couple weeks ago in the second scrimmage. And he's in uniform now. I know he wants to be out there and be a part of this team. Probably don't have him all year long. But Gio, man, just a great kid, and you hate to see what happened there. Officials tonight are out of the Tyler chapter of officials. Notice a couple of those guys that are down there, and so we'll see how that goes. But
no comment.
It didn't take me long, did it? But anyway, we are just about ready for action here tonight, and excited about this one because this is truly going to be a great matchup, I feel, of two teams that not only have a lot of talent, Chad, but also have high expectations. Both of these teams expect to make playoff runs.
And then not just make the playoffs, they expect to make a run in the playoffs. And if you were to ask either one of these coaches, if they just make it one round and they're out, you know, it's not a successful season for them. So they are both getting. And hey, this could be a early season test of what the playoffs will look like for one of these teams.
Well, and of course, Legacy's up there in that 6A district in the DFW area that is loaded, right, with Liberty Christian and Prestonwood in that group. So they face a little different animal. Legacy does win the toss, by the way, and they will defer to the second half, which means Brook Hill's going to start on offense. And honestly, as well as the defense played last week, I think the offense really, especially early on, had some great things going. And I think going on offense is a great thing for them to start the game.
Let's set the tempo, let's set the tone, and let's get ready to play some football.
Now, these two teams did meet last year, and it was a weird game. Samuel Williams, starting quarterback, gets knocked out on the first play of the game. Cam Rowell comes in, the other quarterback at the time. They were really splitting reps all year long. And Cam gets knocked out in the second quarter. We went Wildcat quarterback in the rest of the first half because of the 6-quarter rule. We couldn't put Zach in the game until halftime. And Zach almost leads us down there a chance to win the game. I mean, we think we lost by, I can't remember the score. I think it was 14-7 or 17-10, something like that.
Ended it the whole ball game. I mean, it didn't feel like it. I mean, you're thinking, gosh, how are we here? How are we still in this ball game? And Zach, hey, as a freshman, that stepped up and played a heck of a ball game. He grew up a lot in that game last year.
Well, he had to, right? Because the other option was the team was not going to be able to be very successful. So I mentioned here I've got to call into Brett, Chad. It wouldn't be – nothing could be perfect tonight, right? But Brett is working now on getting our scoreboard hooked up. I just sent him a message. He'll be logging in and trying to fix this for us. But until then, we will make sure that you know what's going on the field. And it actually – first off, I do want to say this, and Chad, I know you talk to different people as well. There were a ton of people last week that were able to step in and just appreciate all those things. And so we will go radio style. And a lot of people, Chad, last week said, hey, we appreciate that. We appreciate the fact that you did that for us. And we're doing all kind of things on the fly.
We're all over the place right now, but hey, that's what you do. When you got coaches coming in, hey, can you help us with this? Can you help us with that? Absolutely, we'll do everything we can, to help these guys out.
So they're worried about the film. But anyway, go ahead. Here we go.
We got back deep for the guard. We got number 9, Daniel Yates. Number 11, Nico Mettinen.
Yeah.
And kicking off, number 29, Jake Drygas.
Man, and listen, he's got a leg. Chad, they tried a 54-yard field goal last week against Cistercian. I mean, they're not scared to kick it with Drygas. We'll talk about him as we go along. But we're going to see this Brook Hill offense now to get things started here, 1st and 10. So this defense now, the one thing I was talking to Coach Copeland about today, our offense coordinator, Legacy plays a ton of guys on the defensive line. They're going to rotate guys through there in and out the entire time. So here we go now with 1st and 10 for the guard. First play of the game. This offensive line, Chad run down the starters earlier. We'll get them again here in a minute. And we're going to have Ryle in the backfield with P.A. LaPointe, who had a great week last week. And we're going to try to throw it on the first play. I like it. Ryle going deep, trying to get Yates. And
P.I.
Oh, gosh. Okay, Chad's not in the game tonight or anything. It knocked away. And, look, if that's going to be the MO to try to go deep on those guys, I think Yates is the guy to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the guy you go to. Stretch the field, see if you can catch them sleep early. And then I think Coach Copeland liked that play call right there. I loved it.
So they take the shot first. I like it. Go at him. Here we go. 2nd and 10 now. Ryle sends Witten in motion. This time he's going to fake the handoff, pitch it to Witten, and going to be knocked in the backfield and dropped. Is on the stop that time for Legacy. That is number 5, and that's Chris Bondmiller. So you mentioned a couple of guys to look out for. Bondmiller's one. Number 6, Bubba Barnes is one they really like. Number 11, George Proctor. They got some big guys up front. This is one thing we noticed last year, Chad, when we played them. They got some size up front.
They are big, and that's a good thing. I think we can match them this year. We've got some size also.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about that as the night goes along. So 3rd and a long 16 now after the loss, and it's LaPointe to the right of Ryle, and this time that's number 4. That's Casper Hansen in motion. They pass it over to Schluter. He's going to be close to the first down.
It's close.
He's going to be about a yard short
I think
there.
About a yard.
And here's the thing. I mean, if you want to set the tone, Chad, this is where you got an offense that's built to run. You got the new and improved offensive line with Brantley Bruno, Luke Scott, Ezra Guba, Laurent Desailly, and Sidney Rouleau out there. And now we're bringing in another one, bringing in a 6th lineman. Emily Turkinen, number 71, comes in. This is like 2 tons of fun up there.
It's called sexy.
Is that what they call it?
They calling it sexy.
I love it. All right, we'll go with it. And it's a big group of men up there in the front. And I'm just going to tell you, if these 6 guys can't get us a yard, we may not be able to get a yard. We'll see. Here we go. Ryle takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to have the first down.
Yes.
And I like it. I mean, look, those are the wrinkles you have to throw in, Chad, as the season goes on to make things happen. And now we're going to pull him out, and Cody Clark's going to go back in at receiver. Yates comes out, and Witten comes on. So 10-10 and counting here in the first quarter. Still no score. First drive of the game for the Guard. I want to thank everybody for listening. I see a lot of people. I see Quebec, Canada in here. I see Finland in here. I see Guatemala in here. I got buddies from New York listening, Chad. I got buddies from across Texas listening. It's awesome. Let's just keep going. 1st and 10.
I forgot my map tonight, man.
Oh, gosh. We talked about that. 1st and 10 for the Guard at the 36-yard line. The pitch out to LaPointe.
They are fast.
They are fast, and they do a good job. Is immediately brought down by 2 of the guys we talked about. Number 6, Bubba Barnes, and I believe that was number 32. That's Sam Jones, who is one of their go-to guys on defense.
You know, as offensive coordinator, you probably script a couple of, first, somewhere between 10 plays and just see what you're going to get. I think we're going to have to stretch the field on them, and then we're going to run right up the middle because they are fast on the edge.
So split backs now, and I like this look. We've talked about it a lot. We'll talk about it more tonight, I'm sure. But 2nd and 16 again for the Guard. It wasn't a problem last time. Got a 15-yard pass, and then a 1-yard run in that sexy formation. Ryle's going to hand off. That's going to be LaPointe. Actually, no, that's not.
Gandy.
That's Gandy who's in there getting his first carry of the action or of the season. And good to see Grant back. We were worried maybe early on it was going to be a longer time off for him.
There's right there, both Legacy and Brook Hill switching people in and out. That's the good thing. I mean, you can see. I don't know if you can see on the sidelines on both sides, but both these teams have depth, and that's going to be able to play well into their hand to be able to keep everybody fresh.
So 8:26 and counting, 3rd and 12 for the Guard. Ryle in the shotgun is going to take the snap. He's going to drop back, looking deep again, trying to get to Schluter. He's got a step on him, and it's incomplete, just out of the reach of Cole Schluter. And Schluter actually, I mean, we talk about the size of this Legacy team and how fast they are, but Schluter had a step, maybe 2 on him.
Yeah, that kid number 12, Dave Nasabu, 5'10", junior. Had good coverage, but Cole got by him.
Yeah, so 4th and 12 here with 8:19 on the clock in the first quarter. And Ryle is going to be the punter as well. I'm not sure we punted last week, did we, Chad?
No, we did not.
I don't remember seeing us punt now that we're talking about it because I was thinking, who's our punter? And Ryle does get the kick away. It's a good end-over-end kick. It's going to take a good bounce, and let's see if the receiver's going to pick it up, and he's going to be dropped immediately. Oh, no, he's going to break away from Cody Clark's tackle, and then there's two more guys. Is in there on the stop, number 4, Casper Hansen, number 25, Yona Saraharvi. And I know his dad watching today from Finland will be proud to see Yona making that tackle. And so now with 8:07 to play in the first quarter, this defense gets their first shot. I know you talked to Coach Collins today. He's pretty pumped.
He is. He said they're big and they're fast. So we've got to be able to, if we can stop their quarterback, that's who we're going to key on tonight.
Yeah, Luke Lawrence, this guy's been playing quarterback for them now for a couple of years as senior, and he really runs the offense well. And when you look at some of the weapons they have and the size of those guys, he doesn't necessarily look the part of the quarterback of this team.
Yeah.
But Luke Lawrence makes plays. The running back will be number 21 to start the game. That is Jackson Ladd, another senior. It's a very senior-laden team as they come out with trip receivers to the near side, and they put that guy in that fake motion and bring it back. They're going to fake the handoff and pitch it out to the side, and it's going to be caught. And Andrew Wetzel makes the catch, but he was on the knee over there, and they gain about 4 yards. Well, they're going to give him 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Good job going down and getting that ball right there for Wetzel.
Want to mention Samuel Williams in the chat tonight, Chad. Samuel, of course, knows a lot of these guys. And the quick pass out here to the near side for the Eagles, up the field across the 45. Up near midfield is number 13. That's Brennan Bays. I heard you talking about him before the game, Chad.
Yeah, that's one of the players to watch right there. He gets his hands and get it in his hands, and he can make things happen, just like he did right there. Picked up the first down.
Clock is at 7.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter and counting, as it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 48. And Lawrence with a quick pass over on the far side of number 14, Nora Morabito.
We didn't get out there and get our head turned around. We're just late to the flats, and we've got to get out there faster. Our ends.
See there on your screen, we're getting that scoreboard work. Brett Sweeney, my man, is tuned in, and he is helping us out here to get this thing going as we are just under 7 minutes to play here in this first quarter of action. Still no score. First drive for the Eagles, and Lawrence over the middle has a man, and it's caught, and luckily brought down there. I believe that's, once again, Casper Hansen who brings the receiver down, and that receiver, of course, number 27 again, Andrew Wetzel.
Watching the scrimmages and then watching last week, I knew they were going to be heavy pass, and that's what they're staying true to what they've been doing.
So 1st and 10 now for the Eagles at the Brook Hill 33, and Lawrence will hand off this time once again to the tailback Ladd, and I think you're going to get a heavy dose of Jackson Ladd tonight.
When you don't get Ladd, you're going to get Sam Jones.
Yeah. It's funny because I think the one thing that this team has done, Legacy has, over the course of the last decade or so, has really predicated themselves on running the football. They do a good job of that, and it's usually because they have good backs, and they have good backs right now, and you're seeing that early on with Ladd. So 2nd and 4 now, and Lawrence moves Ladd from the right side to the left side, and now Lawrence looking, they run the little fox route, and he's going to be wide open. That's a touchdown. Gets it to Brennan Bays, and that's the danger when a team dinks and dunks you like that, and then you kind of fall asleep and they hit you over the top, and that's what happened there from Lawrence to Bays with 5:50 to play here in the first, and it's a touchdown for the Eagles. And look, they have the speed, Chad. It's going to take some time, right? It's going to take a little bit to figure it out. As the kicker in here once again is our man. Let's see, that's not Dugas. They got a second kicker here. That's number 29. Oh, that's Jack Dragus. Sorry. Jack Dragus. And he's going to have the leg here. It's just a matter of the hold and the snap, and it is up and it is good. And with 5:50 to play in the first, the new score, Frisco Legacy 7, Brook Hill 0. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Okay, we are back here at Harrington Stadium in Bullard, Texas. The Brook Hill Guard taking on the Frisco Legacy Christian Academy Eagles. And a big touchdown there, and the Eagles take the early lead.
Yeah, it's time to bounce back right here, get a good return, and let's get the offense going. So Mitten and Yates back deep again.
Yep. And both of these guys have some speed as well. I mean, this is going to be a very fast game, but Drygas is not going to let us return the kicks, and he lands that one 9 yards deep in the end zone.
Like it seems like that's a weapon that we've always had, you know, especially since I was been here. We've always had a kicker that could put it deep.
Yeah, you have Osagi Zigby, and then last year and now Javier Gavito. Yeah. And so there's some guys that can make things happen for sure. And I hear Coach Dawkins getting ready to start firing up the military fight songs. That's always one of the highlights of the night in between the first and second quarter. 1st and 10 now for the Guard, and that's Wisner in motion. And Raul's going to hand off to LaPointe, and he's not got much room. This is a Legacy defense, Chad. We've talked about it before the game. They are very stingy on defense.
They're very stingy. They read their keys really, really well. And I can promise you, after last week watching LaPointe just run over Redwater, they're going to key him tonight.
A little tempo here for Brook. They're going to go with a check with me as the clock is at 5:25 and counting here in the first. Brook Hill on their second possession of the night. Look over to Coach Copeland. They make their decision here on what they're going to do, and they send Wisner in motion again, and Ryle's going to hand off to LaPointe up the middle. And he's going to gain 3 or 4 yards. Not a bad run. The problem is that, he can't get more than that. Last week we were able to break some of those 3 and 4 yard runs, and we're having a hard time with that tonight. Looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field, and we're going to go ahead and take that timeout with them here on NETSN.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
All right, back here after the timeout on the field, and with 4:59 to play in the first quarter, Brook Hill facing a 3rd down and 5, Chad. And credit, this is what I always tell people. When teams are like, okay, or, fans in the stands like, well, why can't we run the ball? Why aren't we running the ball? It's like, man, they practice too, right? Like they watch film, and they're taking away what Brook Hill did the best last week. And Coach Copeland and Coach Rowland and staff, they knew that was going to happen, right? They've got a plan for that, and we'll see what that is as we go through here. 3rd and 5 at the 30, 4:44 and counting. Clock was hot after that timeout on the field, and Ryle is looking to pass again. Now he's going to pull it down and run. And Ryle, we saw last week, he's going to have the first down. Maybe not the fastest guy, Chad, but he knows when to run, knows how to run.
Smart runner. That's all. That's what you want as a quarterback. Smart runner. Looks like we're going tempo right here.
I love it. 1st and 10 now at the 37-yard line of the Guard. 4:28 and counting. Legacy on top, 7-0 here in the first quarter, and Ryle's going to hand off, this time to Gandy, and Gandy's going to gain about 3 yards. A nice run by Grant Gandy there. And listen, last year as a freshman, he got a lot of experience, especially late in the year, and that's going to pay off for him with him and LaPointe being able to bounce off each other.
Absolutely. If one of them needing a breather, you can put the other one in, and you're not missing a beat.
So 2nd and 7 now from the 40. And Ryle takes a snap. Now you got a freeze play. I think it's going to be an offsides. And Yates goes up and makes the catch.
Oh, he called it incomplete.
And look, probably the right call.
It probably was.
And we probably should be happy with that, because I think if it wasn't incomplete, it may have been a fumble and a recovery by the Eagles.
Now, watching film this week, Legacy loves to run that same play.
Oh, wait a minute. This guy down here now is saying that he caught the ball.
Oh, wow. They overruled him.
I'm not even sure what just happened, Chad. One guy says he caught it, one guy says he didn't, and now we're moving the ball up. I think Coach Harrison might have talked him into it.
And Blake's just handed him the flag back, so they don't even know where it's spotted at down there now.
Yeah.
Chains have been moving back. I mean,
well, and it won't matter. I mean, that's going to be it was a offsides penalty.
Right.
That obviously, we're going to decline that one. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the guard. The ball's going to be spotted at the Frisco 36 with 3:53 to play in this first quarter. Rowell checking over and seeing if we want to stick with the play. They're going to wind that clock, and here we go. And just a little check with me. I like it. And, look, it gives you a chance to see what they got. It gives Coach Copeland an extra second or two to think about what he wants to do.
Talking to the coaches in the box, seeing what they're getting up front and in the secondary.
That's Witten in motion again. The handoff goes to Gandy up the middle, and Gandy still on his feet through the first couple of tacklers down inside the 20-yard line. They'll spot him at the 20, and a big run by Grant Gandy.
That's why you run the check with me right there, because you've got coaches in the box that will be able to tell Coach Copeland what he needs to do, what play they need to run, and that was a great – probably checked it, or they might have stayed with it. So you just never know.
It is good for you when you got a former offensive coordinator and a former college quarterback in the box over there with Jacob Agnew and Will Shaw. That helps. A lot better than you and I being over there. I don't know. Maybe we could have told him to run the ball there. That was a pretty easy one. 3:05 and counting here in the first. 7-0 Frisco leads, and the guard driving here. 1st and 10 at the Frisco 20. Ryle sends Witten in motion, and they're going to fake the handoff. Look to throw. Got a man. Over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown. P.A. LaPointe.
Great route. Right up the seam. Backer didn't have a guy. The backer that was responsible for PA let him go, and he ran right by him.
Yeah, that's a mistake. In case you didn't watch the film last week, guys, LaPointe can score. And he gets another one there, and it's 7-6. And one of the best kickers in the business has a chance to go out there and hit the extra point in Javier Gavito, and they're going to shift over and let him kick out of that swinging gate formation.
Yeah, Wisner holding.
And we got to see the snap, the deep snapper here, Chad. We've missed that every time. That man's already in his stance. We can't even see him. But Gavito in to kick the point after to tie this thing up with 2:52 to play in the first quarter. The snap, the hold. Gavito's kick. It's a little squirrely, but it's in, and we're tied up. 7 apiece here at Harrington Stadium. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
Brook Hill is more than a school.
I am more than a teacher.
We're more than a classroom.
This is more than a performance.
That is more than a scoreboard.
At Brook Hill, you are more than a student. Brook Hill provides a Christ-centered education that more than prepares students for college. It prepares them for life. Brook Hill is a place to grow, a place to belong, a place to thrive. Are you ready for more?
All right, back here at Harrington Stadium, we are knotted up. And look, just like last week, it took a drive to get going, but that offense finally hit its stride. And I think what you were able to see there is the use of the two-back system.
Absolutely. You get an opportunity to answer the call. They did that because if you don't score right there, and the way they ate the first, I mean, that clock was running in the first half. I mean, we got less than 3 minutes, and it's going.
I think they want to be able to watch the Chiefs and Chargers that just kicked off. If we get home in time, we can watch the second half. I don't know. Okay, ready to kick off here to start things after that touchdown drive. Javier Gavito, and he blasts one. Buddy, you got kickers all over the place tonight with Gavito. Oh, they're going to pick it. Oh, I thought he was going to try to run that, Chad.
Man, I've seen it before.
I mean, not recommended, but it looked like he might go that route.
Number 27. Find his name. I got it written down.
Oh, it's Andrew Wetzel.
Wetzel. Hey,
it's
he's a good ball player.
He's listed as a kicker and a punter, and the man's returning kicks, and he's catching passes and all kind of stuff.
Do it all. Was it they say jack of all trades, master of none?
Well, you know, rather be average at a lot of things than not good at anything, I guess. I don't know. Here we go. The Eagles 1st and 10 now with 2:52 to play in the first quarter, and Lawrence, the quarterback, in the shotgun, hands off, and I believe that's Ladd again. He's met at the line of scrimmage. He's going to fall forward for a couple of yards, but a lot better job defensively there, just getting the gap.
I think that gives you the opportunity for Coach Collins, after the first drive, settle the guys down, just like we had to last week, and, play your technique. I mean, we talk about it all the time defensively. You've got to play your technique, because if you don't, you mess up our whole scheme.
So Brantley Bruno in it knows Edward Park and Eli Hall, the defensive ends. We'll set the rest of it here in a minute in the pass now. And they're going to get a high pass away and incomplete on that far side. He was trying to get it to number 14 that time. That's Noah Morabito, who we've seen a couple of times already. And it's going to be 3rd down and 8 now. And a good chance for this defense here to make another stop and flip field position. 2:20 to play in the first quarter. Beautiful night here in Bullard, Texas. The temperature a little hot, but we can live with that because we got the AC going, Chad.
Absolutely. I'm not cold yet.
Well, I'll get you there. 3rd and 8, and Lawrence sends a man in motion. He's going to just stop there in the slot, and we're going to get a flag here. It's a false start. I think they're going to say, they're saying this near side receiver moved.
Number 7.
The near side receiver does not agree, however. But they say that he did.
Most of the time, receivers don't.
Yeah, well, I'm not real sure what any receiver would need to move for. Okay.
Got to watch the football.
Also, Chad, I want to make mention while we're here that the offensive coordinator for the Frisco Lakes Eagles, Seneca Wallace, Iowa State, great. Had some good games at Iowa State. Played for the Packers, the Seahawks, I believe. And he's bounced around some private schools in Dallas, and now he's at Frisco Lakes. He also he's the quarterback coach for the St. Louis Battlehawks in the UFL this spring. So the man's been around a little football. Lawrence now on 3rd and 12. We got some pressure by Rouleau. Sarahavi can't get to him. Now he's still on his feet. Running off the right side, and he's going to have a nice little pickup there. It's going to be 4th and about 7 here, Chad.
Great job. He's shifty now. He is that. So it looks like they're going to bring the punt team out. Looks like it's number 29. It is Drigas. He's doing all the kicking duty tonight.
And Drew Wisner back deep to return for the guard. 2:10 to play in the first quarter. We're knotted up at 7. And Brook Hill couldn't score on the first drive. Frisco Lakes, he goes down the first drive and scores. Brook Hill answers back, and now they get a stop. Now you got to get the ball back here. Good field position as Drigas gets a high kick away. Goodness. And it bounces, and it's going to take a nice legacy bounce. It's inside the 15, down inside the 10, and so much for flipping field position as Drigas has a leg.
He flipped it for them. That's a great weapon to have.
Well, it does help. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the guard at their own 9-yard line with 1:58 to play here in this first quarter. 2 1-0 teams trying to get the 2-0, Chad, and early on it's probably about what we expected.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a battle tonight. It's going to be a great football game. Y'all tuned in for a good one.
So this offense comes out now. We talked a lot about this offensive line. Sidney Rouleau at the left tackle. Laurent Desailly at the guard, Ezra Guba at center, Luke Scott at center, Brantley Bruno at the right tackle. Cole Schluter, the tight end. Of course, Zachary Ryle, the quarterback. P.A. LaPointe and Grant Gandy in there at the tailback, in and out. Yates at receiver. I believe that's Brig Hargett out there now. And Blake Witten. So some speed on offense for the guard here to start this second drive, 1st and 10. And that's going to be Witten that goes in motion. They're going to fake the handoff, pitch it to Witten. Witten down the far side. And here's the thing. That's number 32 again, and that's one of their better defensive players, Sam Jones. And Jones takes Witten down for a loss of about 7. We've seen that now a couple of times. They have really keyed on that option play there as we're down to 1:36 and counting here in the first quarter.
They repped that all week because they saw that, and we didn't run it last year. I mean, that's what we got knocked out. That's what Sam got knocked out on first place. So they rep that. They know it's coming. They know that's our offense.
Yeah, we know Sam's watching. Sam, we didn't want to bring that up, Sam, but
sorry.
Yeah, and I think it was actually Sam Brown last year that got him. I think 32 is the guy that got him last year. He's a good football player. 2nd and 15 now, and they're going to pitch it to Gandy, and Gandy with a nice little run up the gut, and he's going to get back past the original line of scrimmage up to about the 13-yard line. So it's going to be a 3rd down and 6 now, so it's much more manageable, the situation we're in.
Well, Gandy's got a burst. When he sets that foot, sticks that foot in the ground and goes, he gets it upfield quick.
So we're at 48 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Going to have to run another play here in this first period. And it's been, you mentioned this a minute ago, it's been a very quick-moving first period. Both teams really making a concerted effort to run the football and run it well.
But also Frisco threw it around a little bit, but they made the completion, so that keeps the clock rolling.
30 seconds, and Ryle puts Witten in motion now, looking to set up the screen pass, and they've got it. It's LaPointe. He's got some blocking out front. And LaPointe up across the 20. He's going to have the first down. And here's the thing. Coach Ryle wants more because maybe there was a little more meat on the bone, but you get the first down. And what you can't do when you start 1st and 10 at your own 9 is not get a first down.
Absolutely. Hey, and that's something that we talked about it. I don't know that we pressed on it much last week, but screens. We have a screen period, and we run screens all the time.
So the handoff to LaPointe here, and they're going to give him no gain, and 14 seconds to play here in this first period. No gain for LaPointe, and they'll wind that clock. And I'm guessing, it looks like we're going to take the quarter here, and we are 12 minutes in here at Harrington Stadium. Brook Hill 7, Frisco Legacy 7. It has been a great first quarter. We're excited about the rest of it. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
We are back here at Harrington Stadium where Coach Dawkins is making tons of friends in the stands tonight as he's on his college fight song kick as he played some school down there in College Station and some stupid song they play.
Yeah, the Aggie War Hymn.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Something about the dog and the milkmen cheerleaders or something. I don't know. And then, of course, the real fight song of Texas, The Eyes of Texas. Texas fight, whatever you want to play that involves that school, by the way. Hey, look, we knew they were going to lose last week. Nobody expected them to. Okay. I did not expect them to go in Columbus and win. I'm on record of saying that. But poor San Jose State tomorrow. They may catch the wrath of what happened in Columbus. We're back here.
The memes were pretty good this week, though.
Of course the memes were good. When you have Arch Manning and he plays the way he did, you're going to have some good ones, obviously. Okay, back to action to start the second period. We're tied at 7. First play of the second quarter, and Brook Hill with a 2nd and 10 at their own 23-yard line. And Ryle had split backs again. And it was a lot of success in the first drive with that. And Ryle looking to pass has Yates. Yates with the catch, turns around and gains about 8 yards. 3rd and 2 now. Once again, you're in a spot you pick this up.
Pitch and catch. I mean, that's something that I think we'll have all year long right out there. I mean, well, we've talked about it before. Get 5 yards, get 7 yards. Keep doing it. You know, those DBs are going to stay off of them.
3rd and 3 here, and Ryle will check over on the sideline. 11:55 to play here in this first half. Ryle will hand off to LaPointe, and LaPointe, he's got the first down again. And when I'm telling you, Chad, as a defensive coach, you know this. When a team has 2 running backs that can both do well with their legs and in the passing game, you really run out of options.
You can't key on just one. So especially when you've got split backs with their – so one backer's got to take one backer's got to take the other. And you're probably going to check to where number 33 is and not number 32.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, as good of a football player as number 33 Jackson Kilblock actually is,
great
linebacker. He's not Sam Jones.
Right. So
1st and 10 here for the guard. Now LaPointe is that tailback in the backfield, and that's Hansen in motion. LaPointe, I think everybody in the stadium thought he had the football, and Ryle kept it, and he's going to lose about 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 14 at the 30.
In squeezed on there and made the play. The guy we should have been reading, he was just back there in the backfield before you could really make a good read on it.
Hey, look, the reason why you run an offense like this is to make the defense be disciplined and give it credit to Legacy. For the most part, they have been. We've hit them a couple of times. And listen, that's what you're going to do. You are going to get them at some point, especially at the high school level.
Yeah.
2nd and 13. Now Rao, quick screen over the near side to Hanson. Hanson makes the first guy miss and then brought down there at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and about 14 here for the guard. 10:25 and counting to play in this first half. A couple people I see in the chat. Chad, Moody Okaferry up there in Norman, Oklahoma.
Oh, Boomer.
Moody, the roommate of my son Luke, and I know they're watching the game and checking it out. They got a big one up there tomorrow in Norman against Michigan. Mark Lindros here in the chat. Ronnie's dad, of course. Ronnie played for us the last couple of years. I mentioned Samuel, and we got people from all over the world listening. This is one of the coolest things ever for me to get to be a part of this and bring this to those families. 3rd and 14 here now, as that's Brig Hargett that shifts over from the right side to the left side. Ryle looking to pass, has plenty of time, passes over to Yates, and it's knocked away. And, from where we're at, Chad, and we're a long way away, it looked like he had a hold to Yates' jersey.
Yeah, it looks like he was pulling on him quite a bit, slowed him down, getting out of his break. And that's a call you want to get. We just didn't get it right there.
And look, I don't want to be that guy.
But I would have been the guy on the sideline, I promise you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, I'm sure, because, you probably would have been. All right, 4th and 14 here, ball at the 30, and Ryle's going to go back to punt again. From no punts last week to 2 here, but look, this is the kind of football game it's going to be.
Yeah.
Cam Ryle checking in the chat, by the way, as his little brother Zach gets a punt away. And, man, that one actually almost got hairy because that ball was so low and bouncing around it could have hit off a legacy player, but it doesn't. But Cam Ryle and Braxton Durrett checking in. Tyler Vining checking in. They're all over the place. We got Horned Frogs. We got Sooners. We got Lumberjacks all over the place.
They miss it. I know they do.
Of course they miss it. I don't care what they say. They miss it. 9:34 to play here in this first half, by the way. We are knotted up at 7. And Legacy is going to start with the ball at the 46-yard line, their own 46-yard line. Oh, they're going to spot the 45. Listen, officials drive me crazy.
Let me tell you, people are still filing into this game, dude. There's people everywhere tonight.
There are a lot of people here, and I see the 2 food trucks down there. Wonder if we can get a little DoorDash delivery at the half, maybe.
I'll take something.
I saw a good snow cone machine down there. So here we go, 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 45. 9:34 to play here in this first half, and the handoff goes to Ladd, and he gains about 3 on the play. And listen, both teams are happy about this. They just let's take our 3 yards every play.
Absolutely. And Eli Hall there on the stop. And that old adage, we've said it before, 3 yards in a cloud of turf now.
2nd and 6. By the way, one of my favorite people in the world just checked in on the chat. I'm going to tell you after this play. 2nd and 6 for the Eagles. Split backs for them, 9:06 and counting. And Lawrence looking to pass. He's hit as he throws. The ball floats and incomplete. And a big hit that time by Edward Park.
Great job by Edward.
All right.
Your favorite person? I thought I was sitting in the booth with you.
Okay. My favorite non-American person, Aaron Pakarinen, just checked in the chat and from Finland. My man Aaron is there. But no, Edward Park right there, man, great job. He smoked the quarterback just as he let it go, and that ball floated. They're kind of lucky we didn't find a way to pick that thing off. 9 minutes to play here in the first half. 3rd down and 6. And Lawrence, look at that. Almost picked.
I don't think they had enough men on the line of scrimmage.
They were looking for Bays again, who got us a minute ago on that touchdown.
Hey, great stop by the defense.
Yeah, I mean, really, with the bad things that happened on the last offensive drive and having bad field position. And if you think about the field position game here in this first half, Brook Hill's really been fortunate. They've been put in some bad spots, and they've bounced back.
What's Dragic going to do right here? He's going to try to pin us inside the 10, probably. That's his goal,
yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, well, listen, he's got the leg to boot it down to the lower school from here. But you're right. I'm guessing he can probably find a way to pin us, and he tries it. Goes over to the left side. Ball bounces at the 25, a high bounce, and out of bounds near the 20. We'll see where they spot it. It looks like they're going to march up to the 20. You know what, Chad? I've always wondered, how do they even know where they're going? Like,
I saw it at the 20. We gained 2 yards.
Okay, here's the the mechanics, right? The white hat, if you ever next time you're at a football game, just watch. The white hat is raising his hand, telling him when to stop walking forward. I'm thinking, well, first off, if the white hat can't see a holding, how in the world do you see where a punt goes out of bounds? That's all. I'm only going to say that 1 time.
40 yards away from him.
My man can't see the holding 6 yards in front of his face, but he's got knows where the punt is 40 yards down the field. I digress. Okay, Chad, you'll like this while we're waiting on this first play. Last night in the middle school games, a couple of bad calls. I tell them, new year, new me. I'm not going to yell at a single official. It lasted about 3 more drives, but I tried, I promise. 1st and 10 for the Guard, 8:47 to play in the first half. We're knotted up at 7, and what has been a really good contest between 2 really good football teams. And Ryle now on the shotgun takes a snap, pitches over to Gandy. Gandy has a little bit of a gap. And, you know, it's really a numbers game at this point because Legacy's doing a good job of getting a bunch of guys up there and really filling every gap and making this work.
I feel like we're probably going to see more check with knees moving forward. Probably after halftime, you know, they're still trying to fill it out. But I would willing to bet that we'll see quite a few check with knees going into the second half.
And you know, the tempo is slowed down here. There've been times we've hustled up the line and done a little check with me, and now we're actually huddling up and. A little sugar huddle there or whatever, and just trying to slow it down and control the tempo. If you can control the tempo, you're in a good spot. 2nd and 9 here for the Guard, and it's Gandy back deep, and the man in motion, I believe that's Witten again. Actually, that's Weisner. And we're going to have a timeout. Coach Copeland, Coach Rao didn't like where we were. I think the play clock was actually getting down as well. 7:55 to play in the first half. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
When you talk about Brook Hill Athletics, you're talking about a program that gives you the whole package. At Brook Hill, we are very competitive athletically. In fact, we've won 14 state championships in the last 11 years. We have state-of-the-art athletic facilities, and with our new turf training field, we're once again proving our commitment to providing quality athletic venues. We have 20 coaches at Brook Hill who are full-time employees. What that means is they're here all day, every day, investing in the lives of your student athlete by mentoring, being advisors, and preparing them for college. These coaches will also form lifelong relationships with their players. Our coaches are not only committed to getting each athlete ready to go to college, they're also committed to getting these athletes ready to play at the next level. And now, by partnering with APEC, our athletes, male and female, are being trained by some of the best coaches in the world. You know, I've been involved in athletics for a long time, and I know what a winner looks like.
All right, back here as we are back after the timeout, 7:43 to play, and Brook Hill facing a 2nd and 9. The handoff goes, that's LaPointe, I believe, on the handoff this time. And he fights his way up near the first down, and now, once again, manageable 3rd down, 3rd and about 4 here.
It's the first time tonight that we've seen him just keep churning those legs and getting as many yards as he can. Got a little assistance by the offensive line, so brings up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, good spot there for us. I thought we were back a little bit. 3rd and 3, 7:32 and counting here in this first half. And what has been, you know, really a defensive clinic by both teams. Coach David Collins, we talked about the offense, but Coach Collins and the Legacy defensive staff both have come up with great plans here in this one. As Rao hands out to LaPointe again, and he's got another first down, and he's still on his feet fighting through up to the 40.
Great job. Keeps those feet moving and just keeps going.
And I'll tell you about LaPointe, just the way he's built, short, stocky.
Hey, I like this formation. 2 sniffers.
Yeah, there you go. And they're going to hand it to LaPointe. There you go. And he's going to, once again, get about
awesome.
5 yards up across the 45. It'll be 2nd and 4 to 46. Okay. I don't want to throw this name around loose, you know, just loosely, Chad. But his style and the way he's built is very Emmitt Smith-ish, right? Just that short, stocky runner that's hard to tackle, hard to bring down, and shifty. You know, shiftier than you. When you just see PA without his pads on, you're like, okay, this dude's probably like the backup punter or something. But then he gets on the field and he's an animal, right? Like he's just a beast. And it's just the way that he's put together, and his heart is just – I love watching him run, right?
Just, no give up in him.
2nd and 4, 6:24. No offense to backup punters, by the way. Ryle takes a snap, hands off to Gandy off the right side, and he's hitting the backfield. And, look, once again, you're going to get them. They're going to get you. You're going to get them, they're going to get you. And that's just the way this offense works. And here comes that sexy formation check. I see Big Emily coming to check in, and he's – oh, nope, actually he looks like Sid's coming out for a second.
That's going to make it 3rd and 7 for the Guard.
That's interesting. That's something to watch. 3rd down and 6 here.
And it's not cool here. It's muggy. And, you know, when you're not used to playing in this, I mean, this is probably the hottest game we've had. And maybe,
Yeah.
The sun's not out, but it is sticky
and
outside.
Look, in Canada, it doesn't
hard
get
to
this
breathe.
hot. In Connecticut, Massachusetts, where it wasn't that hot. This
No.
is a different level of hot. And we're going to get another timeout here with 5:30 to play in the first half. And they're going to have to go back and set that clock because the clock's still running.
Let's go. Let's stand up. Let's see what your version.
Yeah, they're timeout on the field. We're going to take it with them. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
And we're back here at the Brook Hill dance party.
Yeah,
I
we
guess.
got DJ Wally Wally and
DJ Wally Wally playing the Macarena. My man's been on fire tonight on the aux over there. Maybe it's him. Here's the thing I know about Coach Dawkins. I don't know if he's figured out the aux, but he's telling somebody what to play for sure. That's what he's doing. 3rd and 6 here for the Guard. Ball at their own 44 with 5:26 to play here in this first half. Ryle looking to pass now, has a man over the middle, trying to get to Schluter again, and Schluter with a catch and breaks a tackle inside the 30.
I think we got away with a hold back there by one of our offensive linemen and gave him enough time.
He was too busy watching where the punt was going out of bounds, I guess.
All right, I'll take it.
But a big first down for the Guard.
Great job by Cole.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for the Guard at the Frisco 27-yard line. A little tempo here, and Ryle hands off. That's going to be Gandy, and he's been at the line. We're going to lose about a yard here. I mentioned earlier they play a bunch of guys up front on that defensive line, and you're seeing a couple of them here. 64, Keller Walter, 62, Cash Cartrade will come in. They play a bunch of guys in there. And we mentioned this before the game. We haven't talked about it since then, but this is a team with a lot of new players that they're trying to figure out their rotation is just the same way that we are.
Absolutely.
So 4:40 and counting, 2nd and 10. They gave us back to the line of scrimmage. And we'll check with me over here once again to the sideline. Once again, thanks all for watching tonight. If you're in the chat, let us know where you're watching from. Witten goes in motion on 2nd and 10. Handoff to LePo. The ball's on the ground. They were trying to pull it and pitch it out there to Witten, and that's number 33. One of those guys we talked about earlier. That's Jackson Kilblock, and he comes up away with a football and a turnover with 4:16 to play in the first half, and Frisco has it 1st and 10 at their own 31.
First turnover of the ball game. You don't like to see that right there. Need defense to step it up right here, and Coach Collins is going to be he's going to have his guys ready to go.
Here's the good news. If you're going to turn it over there, not where you were 2 plays ago, right? I mean, because defensively you've played well. Defensively you've forced them to do some things that they don't like to do, and I think you're in a good spot here. They're going to have to work here with 4 minutes left. Now, they do have 3 timeouts left, so you got that in their pocket, but you're not in a I mean, obviously you don't want to turn the ball over. Don't hear me say that, but it could be a lot worse.
Absolutely.
1st and 10 at the 31. Lawrence now in this pistol look. High snap, hands off to Ladd, and Ladd off the left side, 45-50, one man to beat. That's Metnin, and Nico trips him up. But it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles inside the Brook. I think it's spotted at the 40.
Nico hustling right there because if he don't catch him, I don't know if anybody does.
No, that was the last guy. If it wasn't Metnin, it was going to be 6 for the Eagles. Quickly back to the line. They give it to Ladd again, and Ladd up the middle. Now he's, golly, the chains weren't set for that play, and they're not going to be set for the next one. They can't even, I mean, they're going so fast the chains can't get there.
Stop by number 8. That's Greg.
Lacrosse Grande, yeah. Greg Lacrosse Grande, first time we called his name tonight. He was very active last week in the win. 2nd and 2. Lawrence looking to pass, and the flat and a big hit. He's not going to get the first down, and that's a big hit there. That's Metnin again, right? Coming from that safety position. It's somebody else. Let's see.
That was corner.
That's Blake Witten.
Yeah, that's exactly. perfect as a corner. He read the route, and he jumped it and stopped him for no gain.
So 3:07 and counting here in this first half. We're tied up at 7, but Frisco with a third and less than a yard from the Brook Hill 31, just inside the 31. Let's see what this defense can do here. They got some guys in there. They can make some plays. A little big defensive unit there up front. A high snap. Lawrence over his head, going to roll out now, looking to pass. He's got some people chasing him down, throws it up. It's going to be incomplete, but we get a flag.
Hopefully it's a holding.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's got to be a hold, right?
He's already calling it. White House, it's holding.
Okay, look, he heard me saying a minute ago, congratulations, we got a hold. Listen, so that's a huge play. Now, listen, the high snap really helped us anyway, because now that was obviously not what they were trying to do. They were fixing to hand it off to Ladd again, because Ladd's been running the ball at 7 or 8 yards a carry here recently.
Coach Riles saying they had an illegal man downfield. He's having them discuss it. If that is, that's lost down. Correct?
It is lost down, and let's see what they're going to discuss here. Now, listen, I think we talked him into a catch on the sideline earlier. So
hey,
listen, I don't care.
We've done it before.
I'm all for it. If you can talk him into it, get after it. And Coach Rowell may be talking him into one here.
I've done it.
Hey, let's see what the conversation is. Oh, they're going to go with a hold, decline. Yeah, ineligible downfield. So Coach Rowell, 1, Legacy 0 on talking – well, actually, Brook Hill 2, Legacy 0 on talking him into calls. And
that's 4th down.
Yeah, and so 4th and 4 now. They got Drygus.
But that's huge for the defense to step it up right there. You know.
So Jack
They're
Drygus.
fixing to kick it.
Oh, I'm telling you, last week they tried a 55-yarder. This one's 51 for Jack Drygus.
Oh, they hadn't marked it off.
No, they marked off. It's a timeout.
No, he just marked it back another yard.
Well, and honestly, it should be even further back, right? Because the ball was almost to the 31. Look, it's a 4.5-yard penalty. Either way, he's going to have to make a 52-yard field goal here to get this one to go down.
He's got the leg to do it.
We'll keep it here in this timeout because
Earth, Wind, and Fire, why not?
Golly. My man, Coach Dawkins. I love it, right? He's having a great time. It's a big crowd here tonight. You mentioned the crowd tonight is huge. It's awesome.
I mean, the grassy knoll is just full of people. I'm excited I don't have to sit back down there this year and get hit with a football again.
Well, that's if we do a good enough job.
Yeah, they may put us back down.
They may put us back. They don't even let us on the knoll. We'll have to go behind the scoreboard back there. But anyway, Chad, let's talk about this first half because, honestly, like I said earlier, it is exactly what we imagined with these two. Kind of a slugfest, right?
Absolutely.
Low scoring. Listen, we've talked a lot about the offense. I said this a minute ago, but credit the defensive staff for both teams because I know that you talked to Coach Collins. I talked to Coach Collins this week about the defense. And, you know, Frisco Legacy is a tough team to stop. Now, this was a low-scoring game last year, too. I think both staffs had a great plan last year, too. But once again, you're seeing that when these coaches go in, they get a little film and they get some work in on the weekends, this kind of football game you get.
It's a chess game, right? And that's what, us being on the defense staff, you can see Coach Collins right now. He's fired up trying to get these guys because they're coming out. They're fixing to go for it. Change.
I'm not sure why 1 yard made a difference. Anyway, Drygus has the leg, but I think maybe they have something in their pocket here they like. 4th and 5 now for the Eagles, and they drew us offsides. Yeah, that's what it is. And Lawrence over the middle gets it to Bays, and he catches it. They'll decline the penalty, and Bays has the ball down to the 4-yard line.
Well, I saw it on film. They like the freeze play just like us. We just flinched just a little bit in the neutral zone.
That's frustrating.
It is.
And not toward the kid. It's just frustrating as the kid's frustrated, right? He's not liking it either.
For the kid.
So 2:36 to play in the first half. It is 1st and goal, ball at the 4-yard line for the Eagles. And you would think you get a heavy dose of Jackson Ladd here, but I don't see him back in the backfield.
They've got Sam Jones in there.
Yeah, Sam Jones, number 32, Jack Caswell, number 22, 2:36 to play. Let's see what they come up with. Lawrence is going to hand it off to Ladd. It's hand off to Laswell, and he's going to be stopped short of the goal line. Jack Caswell, the back.
22, Jack Caswell.
So it's going to be 2nd and goal from inside the 1. Split backs again with Brown to the right, Caswell to the left, and Lawrence another high snap. Hands off to Caswell off the left side, and they caught a slant in the wrong way, Chad.
Yep, and that's what happens in our defense, you know, especially down here in the red zone. You slant the wrong way, and they guess go the other way. It's just nothing you can do about it.
So the Eagles, another one on the board with 2:10 to play here in the first half. And the good news is Brook Hill's going to have a couple of minutes and a timeout to answer back here before the half. Remember, Legacy does get the ball first to start the second half, so it will be important to get one in here as Drygas' point after attempt is up, and it's in the middle of the concession stand, and it's good. And we'll take a timeout here on NETSN.
Brook Hill is more than a school.
I am more than a teacher.
We're more than a classroom.
This is more than a performance. That is more than a scoreboard.
At Brook Hill, you are more than a student. Brook Hill provides a Christ-centered education that more than prepares students for college. It prepares them for life. Brook Hill is a place to grow, a place to belong, a place to thrive. Are you ready for more?
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online.
Back here at Harrington Stadium, 2:10 to play in the first half, and Frisco Legacy, let me update that score at the point after attempt, up 14-7 now over Brook Hill. And, just a couple of big plays, and that's what happens. Chad, a penalty on a 4th down.
Yeah, and it all started with, just on a turnover.
So Brook Hill now will take the kickoff. Yates is going to field it in the end zone, and it'll be a touchback, and Brook Hill will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, we have the offense right here to get it down the field and score with 2:10 left.
Absolutely. There are a lot of offenses across East Texas, Chad, that they would not have a chance.
Absolutely.
In this situation.
We can stretch the field. We can, and we can run the ball. Our backs can catch it out of the backfield too. So there's a lot of options right here. I don't think anybody's panicking with 2:10 left.
So LaPointe is going to be in the backfield with Ryle. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Schluter, the sniffer back here on this near side. Now they send Witten in motion, and Ryle is going to hand off to LaPointe up the gut. LaPointe makes the first man miss. Spin move up across midfield, and finally brought down to the 45. And there's that quick hit offense, Chad. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the guard at the Frisco 45-yard line.
Well, I think right there, Frisco's defense, they're thinking, well, they've got to stretch the field. They've got to get down, and they got to go. They're thinking pass. They're thinking, and look at them. Wholesale changes right here. We're going to catch them with not enough men on the field, I don't think.
Well, it's a 2-minute
it's
a 2-minute timeout that everybody forgets about.
That we've never had until.
Including us.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take another timeout. The 2-minute timeout here at Harrington Stadium. 14-7, Legacy leads on NETSN. Okay, so we're back here at the end of the timeout. Now the officials call another timeout, and I'm not sure what the conversation is. Are they going to charge Frisco? Because Frisco, I think, did want to call a timeout, Chad.
Yes.
And it looks like they may have charged them with a timeout and now taking the 2-minute timeout. That's unique.
I don't understand it. But we're not down there right in the middle of it, so nobody has to explain it to us.
I think I know a few people that don't understand what's going on. It's a little confusing to everybody, but we'll go with it.
Whitehead, he's struggling a little bit tonight.
Yeah,
he got rolled up.
Honestly, I haven't seen that limp out of him the whole night. Now he is. Listen, of all the fun we give the officials, that's actually something to watch.
Yeah.
You got a white hat that can't move. That's first off, it's dangerous for him, but it changes the way the game's called.
Absolutely.
And I see Coach Hicks over there trying to talk to the officials because if he got charged the timeout and the 2-minute warning, he's going to want to know why the clock's not at 2 minutes. And truthfully, if the 2-minute warning happens at 2 minutes, he didn't have to call a timeout. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's talking about. But either way, we're back 1st and 10 at the 45 as Witten goes in motion. And the handoff to LaPointe again. PA off the right side. Across the 35. First down guard, 1:49 to play in the half. And the ball's spotted at the 32, 1st and 10 for the guard.
Well, he found the crease and just stuck his foot in it and just got upfield and had a great run.
You know, PA last week only had 140 yards, Chad. It felt like it was 440 yards. Tonight, it's off to a good start as well.
Jeff Callens.
Our man Jeff Callens listening to the broadcast tonight. And that makes me feel better. If Jeff's listening, Chad, we're doing something right.
We're doing something good.
1st and 10. Ryle hands off to LaPointe. Oh, and he is hit by Sam Jones. Sam Jones.
Man, he ran the alley, didn't he? That's what you want from a backer.
Man, and he timed it just right. And it's a loss of 3 on about 3 on the play. 2nd and 13. $102 and counting to play in the first half.
Loss of 3 on the carry by LaPointe.
Ryle in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Looking to pass. Pressure. Gets the ball away. It's to Schluter at the 10. Schluter at the 5. Down to the 2-yard line out of bounds. 45 seconds to play. And the Guard are in business. 1st and goal at the 2.
That'll drag route, man. That's a tough one to cover in the secondary. And you get a good tight end that's got some good hands and got good speed. It's a tough route to catch. And he almost got in the end zone right there.
At the 2. And here comes that sexy formation. 6 offensive linemen in there. 2 tons of fun's what I'm going to call it for now.
No 2 sniffers.
Oh, gosh, here we go. And it's just going to be LaPointe up the guts, my guess. And the handoff to LaPointe up the gut. No, it's a fake. The pass, and it is caught.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Grayson Roselle on the touchdown. 41 seconds to play. Touchdown Guard.
Well, they were keying LaPointe right there, and they hit him for a loss. And Ryle had it pulled already, and touchdown.
Man, what a play call. And you want to talk about the chess match of the game? You set that up earlier with a run, and then you give it right there to Grayson for the touchdown. And with 41 seconds to play, they're going to shift, and Gavito can come in here and knock this thing up at 14.
I think we finally figured out who our deep snapper is.
Yeah, it's Casper Hansen.
Yeah.
So Gavito, Hansen the snapper, Wisner with the hold. There's the snap. The hold is down. The kick is up. Gavito puts it through, and it's 14 all with 41 seconds to play. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
We are back here at Harrington Stadium. 41 seconds to play in this first half, and we are knotted up at 14. These two teams just trading blows. Great defensive calls on both sides, great offensive calls on both sides.
Boy, man, it's been a good one.
Man,
and I can't wait to see what's second. I mean, because here it is. You got 2 great staffs. Both of them will make adjustments, and it's gonna be a fun second half.
Yeah, gonna have to figure it out here. And now Gavito to kick off. This is an important kickoff, right? You can't let them get up the field and give themselves a chance to score before the half. Gavito just punches that thing deep into the end zone, and they'll start at the 25. Oh, we got a flag down. It looks like it's going to be offsides against us. That's really not one you see very often.
No, not.
And
I don't know if they want to have them re-kick it and give them an opportunity to return it. You're going to get, 10 yards?
Well, you have to back up 5 here, and I don't think you can get – 5 more yards for him getting in the end zone is going to be a tough ask.
That's what I'm saying. And it gives an opportunity for him to return it.
So they're talking about all the options here, and it looks like
they're just going to keep the offense.
they're going to take it on they can take it 1st and 10 at the 30 is what they're going to do here. So they'll take the 5 yards. Okay, we'll go with it. I didn't know that was an option.
Why? No, that makes – I don't know. Why give them yards when – if you accept the penalty, you got to kick it again. Or if you accept the penalty, yeah.
Well, it was the offsides against us, and Legacy is going to just say, we'll take it on the return. I didn't know that was an option, but it is. And they'll have 1st and 10 at their own 30. 41 seconds to play in the first half, tied up at 14. And Lawrence in the backfield, that's Ladd beside him, I believe. And he's looking to pass.
Take a shot.
And he's got time over the middle to Bays, almost intercepted by Mettinen. Nico was there, and if he had one more step, I mean, he was outstretched to get there. If he has one more step, it's probably a pick, and maybe a pick six, because Nico had a lot of room to run. A lot of guys down the field past him. So 35 seconds to play now in the first half. 2nd and 10 at the 30.
You've got a European car. Eurospec is the place to go.
Lawrence takes the snap. Quick pass over in the flat to Bays. Bays makes the catch, makes the first man miss, and he's brought down to the 35-yard line.
Key right there that kept him in bounds, keeps the clock rolling.
23 seconds and counting. 3rd down and 5. And Legacy may not be in a huge hurry here. I mean, they're obviously you want to get the play off, but if you don't get this 3rd down, you don't want Brook Hill to call a timeout and get the ball back. Lawrence has time to throw it. Parkin chasing him. LaCoste Grandin chasing him, and Greg is going to knock him out of bounds. And that's actually kind of, I mean, they're going to, you would think with just 5 seconds left here in the half, they're going to go for it. It'll be 4th and about 2 maybe. Actually, we'll see where they spot it. I think they're going to give us that's a generous Brook Hill spot.
Yeah.
Back, it's going to be 4th and 4 at the 36-yard line. 5 seconds to play. You got LaCoste Grandin and Eli Hall chasing him down there. Edward Park in pursuit.
Hey, great defensive stand right there.
So
come out with 25 seconds or 30 seconds-ish, and to do that right there, really good job.
And there, Dragus is back to punt. He's just going to try to get it
out.
And I mean, be careful there, buddy. Okay, and they're going to run it out of bounds. And that'll end the first half. 14-all here at Harrington Stadium, a Week 2 battle between the Brook Hill Guard and the Legacy Christian Academy Eagles. We will take a timeout, and we'll be right back here on NETSN.
Welcome to Guard Country. I'm Wally Dawkins, Athletic Director at Brook Hill. Athletics is a big deal at Brook Hill. In fact, it's a really big deal. That was CJ and Samuel. They're both members of our football state playoff team. At Brook Hill, winning is the goal of competition, but that's not why we play. But we really love to win. That was Kaylee. Kaylee is the 3-time state champion in the 100-meter and 300-meter hurdles. That's Blake. Blake was a member of our state championship baseball team and our state championship soccer team. And he's coached by the Best Preps Coach of the Year, David Collins. Over 20 of our coaches are full-time employees, including our Director of Athletic Performance and Development.
2 more, Sarge.
And that's Ben and Dallas. They're both members of our state championship baseball team. And Ben might be the next A.J. Minner. We not only work to develop our students' athletic performance, but also Christ-like character, on and off the field or the court. Hey, Juliana. That was Juliana. Juliana's all orange. She played on 4 different varsity teams at Brook Hill this year. At Brook Hill, we encourage our student athletes to compete in multiple sports. That's Carmen. Carmen has over 600 career strikeouts and was our starting pitcher on this year's state champion softball team. You'll hear us say all orange all the time, and we mean it. The culture of our athletic department is unlike any other at this level. And there's Osagi and Remy, both members of our state playoff basketball teams. Do you want a championship athletic program in a Christian environment that prepares you for the next level? Then come join our team.
With mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Williams fights through the yards, breaks some tackles. Williams still on his feet. Williams breaks another tackle. Here he goes. He's got some blockers. Sam Williams, he ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, God. 59-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 2 for Sam Williams.
Yeah, whoa. They get set early, very quickly here. Play clock down to 3. Dixon gets it off, low snap. Pickram up the middle, and there he goes. Pickram into the secondary. Pickram is going to go. He is gone. Touchdown. Macho steps up in the pocket, and he gets away from one tackler, avoids another tackler, tries to run. He's still on his feet. Camacho's still on his feet. He's still running. Camacho, goodness gracious, he's still going. Camacho, is he going to score?
All right, we are back here at the half. Jeremy Hubbard, Chad Grubbs. It's 14 apiece here at the half, and we wanted to bring it back early from the commercial break because, you know, our lower school cheerleaders out there, Chad, these girls work hard every week with Coach Tiffany Hubbard, Maddie Hanks, and the rest of the varsity staff. And I heard Coach Dawkins say there's about 90 of them, and it looks like there's 900 of them.
Well, Emma, because I've got a daughter on the cheer squad, and she loves to go down every Wednesday and work with these kids. She said they've had so much fun with them this week.
This is one of the bigger groups that we've seen in a long time down there, and they have a blast with that. So we want to make sure, hey, look, we want to get the football guys to where they can go back and watch themselves perform, but also let's let our little cheerleaders go watch themselves perform.
Absolutely.
Again, and there they go. All right, we're going to take one more timeout, and when we come back, we're going to visit with Brook Hill head of school. Braxton Brady will be with us right here on NETSN.
When you talk about Brook Hill Athletics, you're talking about a program that gives you the whole package. At Brook Hill, we are very competitive athletically. In fact, we've won 14 state championships in the last 11 years. We have state-of-the-art athletic facilities, and with our new turf training field, we're once again proving our commitment to providing quality athletic venues. We have 20 coaches at Brook Hill who are full-time employees. What that means is they're here all day, every day, investing in the lives of your student athlete by mentoring, being advisors, and preparing them for college. These coaches will also form lifelong relationships with their players. Our coaches are not only committed to getting each athlete ready to go to college, they're also committed to getting these athletes ready to play at the next level. And now, by partnering with APEC, our athletes, male and female, are being trained by some of the best coaches in the world. You know, I've been involved in athletics for a long time, and I know what a winner looks like. If you want to win on the field and off, then you need to consider becoming a student at Brook Hill. Remember, Brook Hill Athletics will change your life. Come join the team.
We're back here on NETSN, Harrington Stadium. Brook Hill and Frisco Legacy knotted up 14 apiece in what's been a pretty great first half on the field. And we're joined now by head of school Braxton Brady. And Braxton, you have been down there in the middle of the crowd. We were just talking off the air, a huge crowd talk about the environment, because the Warrior Bowl and the big crowd, it's been a great night.
It's truly Friday Night Lights. When we moved here from Memphis and heard about East Texas football, this is what I imagined it would be. Our crowd, I love the way our design of our stadium, where our kids can run around, have a great time. Stands are packed. We honored our veterans, which is near and dear to our heart at Brook Hill, and I tell you, our community is into it, and it seems to be reflecting on the field too, because our kids are fighting hard.
Chad and I were talking about the fact that as coaches here in the past, and as watching now, I think this is my 13th or 12th Warrior Bowl, somewhere in that range. It's an emotional moment, right? Because not only is it veterans who, it's veterans of people who are our families, but I was telling Chad, there's a lot of these guys who just come here this time every year, because they get to be around each other.
Right.
And for those guys, it's not like we're talking about guys who just have done cool things in life. These are guys who have literally fought overseas for us to get to enjoy all this in the first place.
Yeah, and I got to meet one tonight with the Kummerfeld family. He's 98 years old.
Wow.
He's a veteran here. And then you've also, the angle that I always like to talk about is then you've got a head football coach that served as well.
No, for sure.
So it makes it even more emotional and more special for our community that we've got a leader of our football team that is willing to sacrifice his life for our country.
So a huge crowd. We were talking about this, probably the biggest crowd we'll have other than homecoming, but it's a different type of crowd, right? Homecoming, you get a bunch of people back. This is a new deal. We got the Project One roofing flag out there. We see Richard Davis brought that out. Yep. The lower school cheer, the guard dogs, all that stuff taking place tonight, and it just kind of caps off what has been a great first 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks now of the school year.
Yeah, I mean, coming in year two for me, it's a completely different feel. I feel like our kids are bought in. Our faculty and staff are really bought into the mission of the school. They're excited about the future of the school. Our lower school is thriving with kids. They're busting at the seams. Our middle school is bigger than it's ever been. And really what's really cool is the largest senior class we've ever had. I wish it could be I could tell you it's around the even number of 100, but it's 99, and we're about to take them on a senior trip Monday. So it's just been a great start to the year. The kids have really bought in, and it's been fun.
That is one of the things we were talking about before the game. This is a unique week for our football team because it's the second week. You got guys who've only been here now for about 6 weeks. You play 2 games, and then you take them out of the state for a week, right? And so it's a unique challenge for us. But it's kind of a school full of unique challenges when you talk about the boarding program and how you make all that work together. But talk a little bit about what you've seen this year, because obviously a lot of new additions with students, but also with staff and changes and all those things. It's been a really cool – this has been a really cool start to the year.
I think it has, and it's a testament to all of y'all. I mean, we've got great people. We've got the best people. And I think the staff – We've added Chris Jordan as assistant head of school for student life, and he's brought an energy that I kind of bring at every school that I want to come to, is just an energy about putting students first. And I know that's where your heartbeat is and has been all the time. And now it's starting to come to life in a strategic way, and our kids are like, okay, this guy's not crazy anymore. This is a whole lot of fun. We're going to work really hard. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. And it's just brought us together as a community. And I have to talk about our faculty and staff. They buy in, from the chemistry teacher all the way to the Bible teacher to even ladies in admissions with guard groups. Everybody comes together to make Brook Hill the community that it really is. And so it's been an unbelievable start to the year. There's a different energy.
I do want to talk about guard groups. I'm glad you bring that up, because people who've been at Brook Hill for a while know how the advisory system used to work, where you had a group and you met with them once a week.
Yeah.
When you come in last year, and it was something that you've even talked about, you weren't ready to put in place in year one, and everybody just kind of bought into it and grasped onto it. And that's the idea of our first 5 in our guard groups. Talk a little bit about that whole system and how that works.
Yeah, I brought it, just something that God put on my heart a few years ago, and did it at a previous school, and I was not ready to do it here. And like you said, some coaches and some teachers were like, we know what this is, we want to do it. And so our groups meet every morning. We want to start the morning off where every student in our school has a person. It might not be a teacher, it might not be a coach that they have, but it's their person that they can check in with every single day. And they're in a gender and grade specific group that meets every single morning to start the focus of the day on where we want it to be at Brook Hill. And that's praying to the Lord and asking him to bless our school, but also just honoring him in everything we say and do. And it's really, you've got a group, Jeremy. I think it's transformed how we do school.
And what's been cool for me is last year I had a group of 6th grade boys.
Right.
If you've been around 6th grade boys, it's hard to get them to talk and open up about things.
Right.
And now I have them again as 7th graders. And while we're still not maybe where we want to be, they have that comfort level with me and with each other that you kind of start to see that changing, right? And so that's kind of the goal of that whole thing, is to encourage some conversations. And you mentioned have their own person. It's maybe not a coach they're with or a teacher, but also not necessarily with their friends. It's a mix. And they're now introduced to, and I can look at new students, for example, and you think, is that who you would think they would be hanging out with?
Right.
But it is because of this.
Yeah, and I met with the seniors at the end of the year last year, just year one, and I could not tell you how many seniors came up to me and said, Mr. Brady, I never would have even known that person had you not put me in a guard group with them. And now I feel like we're going to stay connected on social media or through text or wherever we go on our journeys.
And it's hard, right, for even coaches and teachers who are so, we are busy with different things, right?
Yep.
So like me as a coach, if the kid's not in athletics or in my Bible class, maybe I don't see him all the time. But now there's a kid who does other things that I'm involved in, right? And so that's kind of and I see it's changed the dynamic of our faculty in a way where now our faculty is involved in things that maybe they weren't before.
That's exactly right. And I tell people all the time, you can get lost in a school of 50 and you can get lost in a school of 5,000. You cannot get lost at Brook Hill because at 8:45 every morning you are going to be with a teacher or coach or faculty member that loves you, wants to pray for you, and is your person for the start of the day.
And what I appreciate about you, and you've said this numerous times, I've heard you say it to numerous groups of people, look, we are a school. We're going to screw things up sometimes.
That's right.
But the one thing we can't screw up is that aspect of it, right? You've said it first, right? Gospel first.
Right. Students first, gospel
Student
always.
first, gospel always. Sorry.
Yeah,
all right.
that's right.
Hey, listen, it's new to me too.
Gospel first is right too.
Yeah, right. But it's
students always. We can do it either way.
And I say this about relationship-driven people, and I want to talk to you about football in a minute because you've been around some people. But when you build that relationship and you do screw up, it's not as big of a. I mean, you know what I'm saying. The parents aren't as upset with you. If you have that relationship.
Rules without relationship equals rebellion.
Absolutely.
And we've got the best people. I mean, and you're a great example of it. I can go down to our whole faculty and staff. The fact that they have bought into this, it has transformed the culture of our school, and it's been awesome.
And we'll continue to do so. All right. All the things going on great here, and I think if you're around, you know this in this case, but I do want to talk football with you. Now, let's talk about a few things. The first thing I want to say is, how about those Seminoles last week, right?
Yeah, I mean, our oldest son still has a job, so that's awesome. Yeah, we're excited about that. Preston Brady's down there on Mike Norvell's staff, and it was a big win. We were watching our other son and scooted off to a restaurant to cheer on the Noles, and it was a big win and probably a surprising win. But if you know Mike Norvell at all, which I do, he was coming out swinging, and they did, and it was awesome.
I was super happy for them because of what they went through 2 years ago, right? Go undefeated, not in the playoff. Last year, it was just not good from the very beginning. They swung and missed on a quarterback. It happens.
That's
right. They got it right with Castellanos, I think.
Yep.
So Florida State wins. Good for them. And then you mentioned you were in Atlanta watching Bennett play there for Tennessee and their big win over Syracuse. It was kind of hairy for a minute, Braxton, but they figured it out.
Yeah, and they got they played the first official NCAA trade. They traded quarterbacks with UCLA.
There you go.
I think they won it because Nico's stats were not very good and Joey's stats were really good. And Bennett has waited his turn for a couple of years and wanted to finish what he started at Tennessee. So he's got 2 more this year and 1 more year, and he's a starter now, and it's just fun to see your kids thrive. It's really fun to watch in that environment.
It was fun to see Bennett up here at the school a lot this summer.
Yeah.
Getting to work and also helping some other kids, but just to see the work he put in and in an era, and I know maybe there's not a big deep snapper portal contingency, but in an era where kids are leaving, if it's not going their way right away, he just put his head down and went to work.
Yeah, he got called every summer. I mean, just to be perfectly honest, he got called by somebody every summer.
Yeah.
And we felt like the Lord had called him to Tennessee, and we felt like he was a leader. He got elected. He was a captain.
Yep.
Got to call the coin toss last game. And so it's just been rewarding to see him put his nose to the ground and not worry about anything else. And now he's a starter in the SEC, and it's a beautiful thing.
So your fall schedule is a little hectic.
A little bit.
Because you're here tonight.
Yep.
You and I talked about this earlier. Have you made your decision? You're going to stay at home tonight and drive in the morning? Or you're going to go tonight?
I'm going to shower at home, and I'm going to leave my house at about 1:32 a.m.
Probably a good call.
Get to DFW, and then I'm going to fly to Atlanta and pray in the Lord's provision. I'll get from Atlanta to Knoxville, land in Knoxville at 10:30, get to the stadium by noon, kick off at 2:30, and then leave there Sunday, go to the senior trip.
Wow.
Monday through Thursday, fly back to Knoxville Friday for Tennessee, Georgia on Saturday, and then back here on Sunday.
Okay.
But other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, nothing going on.
No big deal.
Just all those trips. And, yeah, I mean, golly, I didn't even know it was that, but okay.
It's what you do for your kids, right?
Absolutely. Hey, listen, I'm living proof of that, buddy. We are diehard Texas Longhorn fans, and I'm actually wearing an Oklahoma women's basketball lanyard as we speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're going to drive to who knows where to watch, Luke
I'm
go
hoping
to work.
my man
It's gonna
Luke.
be awesome.
I'm hoping my man Luke gets the Final Four trip. I've already thought about it. I'm just going to go ahead and book my rooms in Phoenix just in case.
You might as well.
I may need some help on some sick hours or something. I don't know how we're going to classify that. But
listen. I book every February. I book 12 weeks of hotel rooms. I just go ahead and book them.
And you have to do it a year in advance.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Listen, we tried to follow that SEC schedule, go to Starkville and watch games, and matter of fact, your buddy Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State plays in Starkville this weekend. I heard him talking on the radio about how he's got to stay an hour and 15 minutes away.
Yeah, they're in Tupelo.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that makes sense because Dillingham said if it ain't a casino, we ain't staying, baby. So there you go.
That's right.
Man.
That's where the Vols are staying too, I believe. Is it
going to be in Tupelo?
Yeah.
It's probably the best place to stay, honestly. If not, you got to go all the way almost to Columbus over towards Tuscaloosa. Nobody wants to be over there at all.
We get to do that trip too.
You'll be in Starkville. You got to go to Tuscaloosa this year.
Go to Tuscaloosa. We got to go into Gainesville Thanksgiving week.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That'll be fun. Our Coach Dawkins is going to join us down there. He's going to be in the wrong jersey.
His grandson is a huge
Florida
fan, which is awkward, but okay, we'll go with it. He just loves college football, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Braxton, man, thanks for joining us tonight.
Anytime.
And we're looking forward to
what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are tied here at the half, 14 apiece, about 9 minutes before we kick things off in the second half. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Ability, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
When you talk about Brook Hill Athletics, you're talking about a program that gives you the whole package. At Brook Hill, we are very competitive athletically. In fact, we've won 14 state championships in the last 11 years. We have state-of-the-art athletic facilities, and with our new turf training field, we're once again proving our commitment to providing quality athletic venues. We have 20 coaches at Brook Hill who are full-time employees. What that means is they're here all day, every day, investing in the lives of your student athlete by mentoring, being advisors, and preparing them for college. These coaches will also form lifelong relationships with their players. Our coaches are not only committed to getting each athlete ready to go to college, they're also committed to getting these athletes ready to play at the next level. And now, by partnering with APEC, our athletes, male and female, are being trained by some of the best coaches in the world. You know, I've been involved in athletics for a long time, and I know what a winner looks like. If you want to win on the field and off, then you need to consider becoming a student at Brook Hill. Remember, Brook Hill Athletics will change your life. Come join the team.
Williams fights through the yards, breaks some tackles. Williams still on his feet. Williams breaks another tackle. Here he goes. He's got some blockers. Sam Williams, he ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, God. 59-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 2 for Sam Williams.
Yeah, whoa. They get set early, very quickly here. Play clock down to 3. Dixon gets it off, low snap. Pickram up the middle, and there he goes. Pickram into the secondary. Pickram is going to go. He is gone. Touchdown. Macho steps up in the pocket, and he gets away from one tackler, avoids another tackler, tries to run. He's still on his feet. Camacho still on his feet. He's still running. Camacho, goodness gracious, he's still going. Camacho, is he going to score? Wow. Touchdown. Quick pass. Bork adjusts and intercepted, and he caught it.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's going all the way.
Oh, my God. No,
it's Taylor.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
and a pick six.
Kind of stalled him out here. Brisbane got Stewart with a little.
Oh, he ran over the defender. The helmet coming off. Holy man.
Quarterback Smith. As Smith's in the gun. He's going to go back to pass. Throws out to his left. He's got a man open. It's Brook again. Caught. Brook breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 10. Touchdown, Arp. What? Here we go. 1st and 10. They're going to throw it outside. They're going to double pass here. Going deep. That's Man Scott. What a catch by Man Scott. It's a one-handed grab. He's going to go almost all the way. Just tackled at the 1. Highlight reel right there for Man Scott. Oh, my goodness, Jason.
I don't think you'll see anything like that.
Woo.
That's not an East Texas highlight reel. That's Sports Center right there.
Man, oh man. What a catch.
We are back here at the half. Brook Hill and Frisco Legacy knotted up 14 apiece. And it has been a fun night of football. It is everything we expected it to be in a battle like this. We do want to take the chance to mention some scores from around East Texas. We have really failed to do that here tonight. One score for you. Man, you know about this school, but Omaha Paul Pewitt, they're trailing White Oak tonight 16-6. And White Oak's a team, Chad, that really struggled the last couple of years, but Pewitt, man, they have had their successes over the years.
They have. You know, last week they took on Linden Kildare, and Linden's, you know, didn't win a game last year, so, you know, I don't know how much they got, you know, but I think Linden's going to be better, but, you know, I don't know how much preparation they gave Paul Pewitt for last week.
Yeah, man. Linden, man, we were talking about this last week. You talk about the Shock Linwood days to where they are today. It is much different.
Yeah.
Here's some more scores for you. This is an interesting one, actually, for us Tyler football fans. Legacy leads Tyler High 34-0 at the half.
I picked them.
I did not. I picked Tyler High. I had faith in my man, Rashawn Woods. Marshall and Longview knotted up at 7 in the second quarter. And, of course, man, prayers to John King.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
out tonight with that mouth cancer diagnosis, and he's going to be battling in and out. Lufkin all over Nacogdoches, 28-0. Here's I want to say this as politely as possible. Jacksonville leading Brownsboro 21-7.
Wow.
Kilgore on top of White House, 28-0 in the second quarter. Lindale leads Mount Pleasant. Hey, this is a Mount Pleasant team, Chad, that I said early on was going to have a great year. They struggled last week. They're down to Lindale, who, by the way, I think is
really
pretty good football team. I think they're pretty good. Crandall leads Hallsville 16-0 at the half. Bullard trails Caddo Mills 7-0 in the second quarter. Or actually, that's the first quarter score. I saw Rusk and Mount Vernon. Rusk leads Mount Vernon 15-14 in the first half. That's an interesting score. Pittsburgh and DeKalb. Listen, DeKalb, a team I saw in the playoffs last year, Chad, I thought DeKalb was really good. They're trailing Pittsburgh 21-8 tonight at the half. And I don't think that was near expected.
No.
Canton on top of Waxahachie Life. The big matchup tonight in East Texas, honestly, is probably Gilmer and Chapel Hill. I don't have a score on that one yet, but you can actually follow along on the NETSN app and get the scores there. Van over Pine Tree, 21-7. Sulphur Springs all over Greenville. Last night, a bunch of scores. Tatum beat Dangerfield 41-30. Frankston destroyed Huntington 59-0. More scores for you. West Rusk leads Diboll tonight 15-0. Just trying to go through and see some of these. Of course, a score of interest to Brook Hill fans last night. Grace played a really good game against Division 4 rather, First Baptist Academy, two-time defending state champions. They led that game almost the entire time, and First Baptist won with 8 seconds left in the game on a touchdown pass. How about the team we saw last week, Redwater? They trail Winsboro 51-7 in the second quarter.
Winsboro's good.
They are good, but I'd be interested to know what happened with the quarterback. Remember, the quarterback from last week from Redwater was a little banged up as we went along, too. We'll update more scores as we go along here throughout the night. We are ready to start the second half, and Brook Hill is going to kick off. Gavito set the kick. And it is a short kick that's going to bounce the middle. And I think it actually gives you a chance. Legacy picks it up on the run. The return man up across the 30, the 35. Still on his feet at the 40. And finally brought down at the 44-yard line. Gavito actually brings him down. And thank goodness, because he might have had 15 or 20 more yards, Chad.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, you've got to get down there and cover, stay in your lanes. I know we run lane assignments all the time with special teams with here at Brook Hill, but we did not stay in our lanes on that one. They picked up a pretty good return.
So 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 45-yard line, tied up at 14. Man, it's been a great first half. If you are tuning in, let us know where you're listening from. We had a chance to talk to Daniel Yates' dad here at the half, Chad. Pretty cool. He got to watch last week online from California. He's here tonight, and he'll be watching us again in the future. That's why we do it. So you guys at home and away from your child can watch. Or if you're on the road, the handoff here goes to Ladd for the Eagles off the left side. He's got room across the 45, and he's finally tripped up there by number 2, Cody Clark. And we're going to get a late flag that comes in. It came from the white hat. It's a hold. And that's going to bring that back.
Wow, that's huge. That was late flag.
It was real late.
Well, you're going to be able to see right here defensively what adjustments Coach Collins wanted to make. You know, he dialed some up for this second half. Also, Frisco, see what they did. You know, because there's some things that they probably wanted to do that weren't quite working right for them, that they wanted to tweak a little bit. So we'll see quite a few adjustments this second half to bring it home.
And look, I know not one person over there on that legacy staff, so I'm not just saying this. These are 2 very well-coached football teams that you've seen tonight, Chad. I mean, these are 2 teams that are doing all the little things right that they needed to and taking advantage of others' mistakes.
Yeah.
1st and 15 now. The pass over to Ladd on the swing pass, and a nice job there by number 8, Gregory Licasi Grandin on the stop. And he'll actually lose another yard. It'll be 2nd and 16.
Luke Scott out there getting in the mix on the old swing pass.
Man, that's a good job. When your defensive lineman can get involved in the screen pass, that's pretty good for you. So 2nd and 16 now. Split backs in the backfield. 11-15 and counting, and Lawrence looking to pass. Throws it deep, and the ball's short.
I don't know if we'd – another flag.
Another flag, and that's going to be a personal foul against Brook Hill, late hit. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean –
I'm trying to see if we can't see that. It looks like – I don't know. Just watching the replay here.
I don't think it was much.
I don't think it was much either. I think he actually, from what I can tell, came off the left side and tried to bat the ball down and maybe got his hand late. I don't know. But it didn't look like, I don't know if it was 15 yards worthy, but that's what we're going to get.
Wow.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the Brook Hill 46.
At the 46-yard line. 1st down, Eagles.
I don't know if the ball just came out of his hand funny, if it got tipped, what, but it floated out there.
So 11:04 and counting. I'm not sure why the clock's running. It was an incomplete pass. Lawrence rolls out to the right side looking to pass. Just can't hold on to him there. Isaac Lundqvist had him and couldn't bring him down, but the pass falls incomplete.
He just threw it away right there. Everybody was covered up. He sprinted to the right, getting chased from the backside. We just couldn't get to him quick enough. We had him for a loss.
That's the thing about football. So many almost things happen, right? Like just almost there. And fortunately, Lawrence, the pressure was enough to make him throw that ball a little high. So 2nd and 10 now to 46. 10:51 to play in the 3rd quarter. Tied at 14. Lawrence looking to pass, pump fakes. Again. Here comes the defender, Sarahavi, chasing him down. And another pressure force throw. And it's going to be short, 3rd and 10.
Tried to go back to the first half with the old fake screen. And run the Fox route, and our defensive secondary played that one technique.
So Sarahavi brings the pressure there, and you saw that delayed blitz from the inside backer there. Coach Collins loves to dial up the blitz when it's appropriate. He doesn't maybe do it all the time, but he times it just right, and he had one there. 3rd and 10 now for the Eagles. Ball at the 46. Lawrence looking to pass, screen pass caught by Ladd. Let's see if we can tackle him. Breaks first time. He's got a 1st down and more. 30, 25, 20. And Mettinen can't bring him down, and he's finally going to be knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Great play call there by Frisco Legacy on the old screen.
Looks like Roselle was the one to bring him down.
We had our ears pinned back, and we were coming after him, and thought we were fixing to get the quarterback, and he dumped it right over our head.
You see the effects of the heat, a little cramping here for our guys, and I think Cody caught some cramps over there, and he's able to get up pretty quick. So Cody Carr come in, and Zach Hempel will go in and play that safety spot. Also seeing some more guys come in. That's number 74, Laurent Desailly checking in. Haven't seen him much on defense here, and here comes Sid. So we pull the little guys out, and we got little guys out, big guys in. Luke Scott, Laurent Desailly, and Sidney Rouleau in there on that defensive front. Pistol formation. Lawrence going to hand off to Ladd. Running start. He's into the end zone. Touchdown Eagles. And Ladd is a very good running back.
Yeah, he's a tough runner. Hard to bring down and, put it in right there for him.
10:33 to play here in the third quarter, and the Eagles take that 20-14 lead. And now the kicker, who has a huge leg, Jack Drygas, comes in to kick the extra point. And this is, what we talk about, the adjustments both teams are going to make. They win this one, right? And that's what we expected both teams to go back and forth. The point after is good. And the score now, with 10:33 to play in the third, is Frisco Legacy 21, Brook Hill 14. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be right back here on NETSN.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
You said earlier DJ Wally Wally over there in the booth?
Yeah.
He's letting it fly tonight. Hey, listen, pregame, a man had every patriotic song you could think of for the Warrior Bowl. I can appreciate that. Now, I didn't know his musical depth went this deep.
He's going with fight songs. Now he's going.
What would you call? What word are you going to use next, Chad? That's actually interesting.
I don't know.
I actually like this song. However, if you'd asked me of all the songs I thought Coach Dawkins might play tonight, that would not be one of them, more than likely. 21-14, the new score after the touchdown. Ladd with a touchdown for the Eagles. And now they will kick off, and we have Yates and Mettinen back deep to return for the guard. And just a huge leg. This is a game, if you like kicking, this is the game for you.
Right.
Pat McAfee somewhere watching this one, maybe. Probably not.
Yeah. He's probably watching that NFL game.
He's in Norman hanging out with Luke and Moody probably.
They wish.
I think their main objective this weekend is to somehow meet Pat McAfee, which, look, I'm okay with that too. I mean, How about the kid that won $250,000 last week kicking the field goal on game day?
He just walked up there like he's done it before, and he probably has.
Yeah, well, he admitted he had kicked a little bit before. So the guard now, 1st and 10 at their own 25. Ryle in the shotgun with LaPointe to his right, and they come out with 2 to the far side, 1 to the near. Check with me again. I like it. It shows that we're, playing chess. Like we talked about, the handoff to LaPointe. PA up the middle across the 40, and a first down for the guard.
Braxton was up here earlier at halftime. We were talking. He says, make it real simple if we just keep running right up the middle, right?
Yeah, I asked a lot of football knowledge. Didn't talk about this one, but yeah, he came here and said, hey, it's pretty simple. Run it between the tackles. It's working, and it has been, and it works again there. 1st and 10 for the guard at the 41-yard line.
That's what that check with me gives you. It gives you the opportunity to check into what they can't cover.
So 2 to the near, 1 to the far now. Ryle in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands off to LaPointe again, and once again, man, we've talked about a bunch of their guys on defense, and once again, it was number 6, Bubba Barnes, one of those senior defensive players that makes the stop. LaPointe still gets 2 yards, but they have been very disciplined on defense tonight. Been super impressed.
Yeah, they're so fast off the edge. I mean, very well coached defensively.
2nd and 8, the handoff to LaPointe again. He tries to go to the outside, and look, we just talked about it. That may not be the place you want to run right now.
Yeah.
3rd and 8 now. Now Gandy's going to check in to play tailback.
Screen opportunity right here. But then you've also got you got Yates.
I'm just thinking the same thing as you're talking. Like, I like the matchup over here with Yates in this corner.
Yeah.
Really it's the only good matchup I think we have in terms of height and speed. And it looks like the safety's in the box. I mean, this is – do you dare take the shot here on 3rd and
he just rolled up on
8?
He's backing off.
Yeah. Yep, they're looking for him. A double move. Rao looking for Yates. He got him. First down. All the way down to the 21-yard line.
Mom and Dad sitting right here in front of us. Boy, they are excited.
Golly. Hey, Chad, we can call an offense too, baby. We knew that one was coming. I like that call right there. When you have the safety that's going to stay in the box and not go help over the top on a smaller cornerback, then let's just keep chunking it to him.
Absolutely.
So 1st and 10, 8:38 to play in this 3rd quarter. Clock continuing to run. The guard down by 7, but now on the move. 1st and 10 at the Frisco 22-yard line. Ryle in the pistol with Gandy behind him. They send Witten in motion. They're going to hand off to Gandy. Gandy up the gut. Makes a move. Inside the 15. Down to the 10-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and goal guard.
Great run by Gandy right there. When he just hides behind those big old linemen and just keeps getting yardage.
Yeah, that's a good plan, by the way. Ryle now, quick snap, hands off to Gandy again. Gandy off the right side, inside the 5, and hit hard there.
Big 33. Jackson Killebrock.
Yeah, he's one of those guys we've talked about some tonight also.
He brought the wood right there.
Let's see, do we have a penalty marker? We do have a flag down over there. I think they had 12 on the field, Chad. They were trying to get guys off, and I think we might have caught them. We'll see what they're going to call here. Clock at 7:51 to play in the 3rd quarter. Frisco 21, Brook 14. Yep, illegal substitution against the defense. And that's what happens, man, when you see them start trying to switch like that, especially down there inside the 5 and they got a long way to go to the sideline. Man, that pace is good.
Yeah, you tempo it on them, and it's that's just an extra weapon in the bag.
Once again, thanks everybody for watching tonight here on NETSN, week 2 of the football season. We got people watching all over the world, and we love it. And if you're in here, make sure and drop in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Hit subscribe to that NETSN channel. Download the NETSN app. We'll talk about that more as we go throughout the night, I'm sure. Ryle on 1st and goal from the 5. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, looking to pass to Schluter. Ooh. Schluter catches it down near the goal line. They're going to spot him at the 1.
Well, that corner came off that. He read the route. And I thought Cole was going to be
here. Ryle hands off to LaPointe, and he's at the goal line, and he is in. Touchdown guard.
Good job. Very, very easily could have stopped moving his feet right there and churning and trying to get in. I mean, a little extra help by the lineman got him on into the end zone.
Yeah, 2 tons of fun comes in, and we just punch it in the end zone. Good luck stopping that like the tush push. What are you going to do there?
Absolutely.
And now the swinging gate formation, and they're going to
blow for blow.
Over.
Hey, this has been ball game. One big blow from one of them, the other one answers with another big blow.
And look, this was a measuring stick game for both teams, right? They weren't tested last week. Brook Hill needed this one to see where they're at. And look, regardless of what happens in the next quarter and a half, they've answered the bell tonight. And Gavito's point after is good. 7:04 to play in the 3rd quarter, and we're knotted up at 21 apiece. And we'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
We are back here at Harrington Stadium in Bullard, and we are knotted up at 21 apiece. P.A. LaPointe into the end zone again. And, man, we were just talking off the air. Rick, you don't want to lose this game. Don't hear me say that. But you get a lot of positives to build from in a game that doesn't hurt you one way or the other.
A lot of positive stuff coming away from from this ball game, win or lose. And I was just telling you earlier off the air that you play district ball games like you play tonight, you're going to win a lot of games.
Man, and it is just what a fun night it's been. And Brook Hill now set to kick off.
Kicked it short last time. What are we going to do?
I'm going to go ahead and just, we're going to squib it back there and let them try to pick it up at the 10. As long as you cover it, that's not a bad plan.
Great job,
great
Gandy.
open field tackle. That's actually, is that Gandy
That's
again?
Gandy.
Yeah, Gandy makes a nice open field tackle, Chad. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles back near their own 20.
Great job, Gandy, staying in his lane right there, doing what he was supposed to do. Actually chased him down from the backside, tripped him up. See if the defense can answer right here, hold them to a 3 and out.
Ball's placed down on the 23. The Eagles take over there.
So 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. Man, just what a fun night this has been. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. 7 minutes exactly on the clock here in the third quarter. Fake the handoff, pass is deflected, and that's the other thing.
Eli Hall.
Well, I was about to say the height on the D-line can get that, but this is not the height part of the D-line, right? But Eli Hall, who's just cat quick, man.
No, man.
You know, we haven't talked a lot about their offensive line. We did in the pregame, but the left tackle for them, number 77, Jude Womack, is a sophomore, 6'4", 320, and he has not really been able to find Eli or Edward when they're in there. And Edward in the backfield with a big play. Hey, speaking into existence, big fella, there's Edward Park. And it's going to be,
Yeah, the two smallest guys out there on the field right now, and they are wrecking havoc.
I say this because I love both of those two guys coaching the last couple of years. They're the worst celebration guys on the team.
Yeah,
and that was a good example
there.
right there. That was, listen, I'm actually watching the replay right now. I'm not even sure what happened. They kind of like Ricky Bobby, they weren't real sure what to do. Ron Burgundy, rather, they weren't real sure what to do with their hands right there, Chad.
And we got to be able to read the combos right here on this route.
6:25 and counting. Legacy looking to pass. There's Rouleau. That might have been a hold. He gets the pass away. It's complete to Bays, and he's out of bounds just across the 35. And I see my man Coach Reed down there yelling at the white hat. Listen, I've been yelling at that guy for the last decade. He's not going to listen, Austin. I just want to tell you, you're really just making yourself hoarse tomorrow for no reason.
He's picking up our slack.
He is, but I'm just telling you, it's for no reason. He's not going to listen. May or may not be the same guy that told me one time he only calls the important ones. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not saying this. Can't confirm nor deny. But I'm also not denying. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line here.
Quarterback.
And a little option pitch there to Ladd off the right side. Across the 45, across midfield, and finally tripped up. And I think the guy that tripped him up over there was number 11, Nico Metnin.
And he was getting just –
yeah, he did it while getting blocked.
Blocked in the back.
Just gets his hands over there and knocks him down. Great play design there by the Eagles. He had everybody going one way, and they optioned it back the other side. Yeah, Nico getting blocked and takes him down. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles across midfield. We love Jeff Callens, by the way. Split backs for the Eagles is Bays. That's got to be a false start. Yeah, that's illegal. You can't do that. At least not in America. But
Canada, you can.
Sydney and Laurent, those guys were like, what's wrong with that? Why are you throwing the flag? That's what we do, right? You know, for those, you know what? I need to ask Sid and Larry this. Back at home, when maybe they had to run sprints on the football field, like, is it easier to run sprints here because it's 10 yards shorter? I don't know. Like, these are and I think these are the things I need to ask. Now that I have more time on my hands, not coaching these guys, I'm going to make a list, Chad, of all the questions we want to know.
The Canadian questions we want to know.
Okay, listen. Well, I don't know. We have Quebec in the chat. Actually, I was told that Greg's dad gave everybody in Quebec the link. I need to learn some French, I guess. Appropriate French is this handoff now on 1st and 15 takes them back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, Ladd is a tough runner.
Man, listen, this, like I said, these are two teams that love to run the football, and they really do it well. They spend a lot of time working on that.
Actually, that wasn't Ladd. That's Sam Jones.
Oh, well, and doesn't matter what team he plays for, he's going to run hard.
Absolutely.
By the way, very Baylor-ish look
Yeah.
for the Legacy Eagles?
Watched it last week. Their film, that does. They do have the Baylor look.
2nd and 10 now. Handoff this time. That's Ladd again. And Ladd gains about 5 yards up to the 41. Also, I want to shout these guys. I don't know if they're listening tonight. I know they're not here streaming, so maybe they're watching our stream. But the Legacy streaming guys, they're fun to listen to. And I hope if you're listening, please shoot me an email or text me, because my man Cleve on the Legacy broadcast, he's one of my favorites. He's going to be one of my favorite guys to listen to throughout the course of the year. But shout out to they do a great job, by the way. Legacy productions are always great on the athletic side. 3rd and 5 here for the Eagles. 4:33 to play. Quick pass to Bays, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. It's going to be a yard short. It'll be 4th and 1. Is in there quickly to make the tackle. Where Hayden Watson and looked like Grayson Roselle and Gregory Lacasse-Grandin were in there.
Curled up right there. Backers flowed to where they were supposed to be in the flats or in their drop zones and played it just right.
So 4th and a yard now. 4:08 and counting to play here in this third quarter. We are tied up at 21. It has been a quick-moving night.
Hub, we might be out of here before 10.
Well, the problem is you want to get there to Whataburger when you can get the breakfast menu, not the dinner menu, so we got to slow down a little bit. On 4th and a yard, they're looking to pass it. Pressure comes, and Lawrence pulls it down and runs. And listen, that's what Lawrence does well. Jonas Sarahavi brings him down at the 31, but that's what Lawrence does with his legs. He does a great job.
Yeah, he's the decision maker on the field for a reason, you know. He's trying to get a pass out there, and he just decides, hey, let me take it in my own hands, and let's get a first down.
So a first down for the Eagles, 3:36 and counting here in this third quarter. And Legacy now putting a little pressure on this Brook Hill defense.
Looks like they want to slow the pace down a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I don't blame them, because really, Brook Hill has really only hurt themselves on offense. They haven't not really been able to stop Brook Hill on offense. Oh, and a bad snap. It's back deep. Ladd picks it up, and he's back in the backfield, hit and brought down, a loss of about 7 on the play, and a little miscommunication there. The center was the quarterback rather was not expecting the snap there, and it's going to be a loss of. They're going to go, almost 8. They're going to call it 7 officially, back to the 38.
Yeah, the receiver wasn't set out here, and I don't know if he said something to make the center snap it or what, but that's a big opportunity for the guard.
Yep, 2nd and 17 now. The handoff to Ladd. Hit in the backfield, brought down. Right there is Grant Gandy again, and welcome back to the game, Grant Gandy.
Coaches love it on the sidelines, too.
Were you telling me his parents made a long trek to get here tonight to see him, right? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Laurent.
Oh, Larry's parents are here. That's why viewership in Canada's down, because they're here. Okay.
30-hour
drive. Put the man on the field, Coach Collins. Let's let him make it out there. 3rd and 17 here. 2:06 and counting. Lawrence looking to pass. There's the pressure by Sarahavi again. He gets away from Yona, makes the pass, and it is going to be caught, I do believe, but it's going to be about 9 yards short, and it'll be 4th and 9. I'm going to call it 8. 4th and 8 from the 29-yard line.
And they're going to kick it.
Yeah, why not?
They've got that weapon. Might as well.
So Dygus in to kick this field goal, and it's going to be a 46-yarder. Reminds me of the days when we had Osagi out there to knock in those. Caleb Chadwell, a long list of kickers at Brook Hill that have done well. But Legacy also has had a long list of kickers. That's a list that we could go through at some point. A bunch of guys that have kicked at the Division I level. And Dygus' kick is up, and he's definitely got the leg for it. And he drills it.
Wow.
1:58 to play in the third. Frisco Legacy with the 46-yard field goal, and it makes the new score. Frisco Legacy 24, Brook Hill 21. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Okay, look, Chad, I don't know who's playing music for Coach Dawkins, but I'm convinced it's somebody else.
It's not him.
It's not him. I might could have got through some other ones. Maybe they're on Coach Dawkins' iPod or I don't know if he has an iPod or not. I don't know if he – okay, complete side note here. It got me thinking, a little ADD here, but we had a meeting today with our middle schoolers about our middle school retreat next week, and a kid asked, can I bring my Discman? I didn't know that was a thing anymore. And if he has one, I'll pay for it. As Legacy kicks off here to start action again, 1:58 to play in the third, another deep kick. He said, look, I can kick a 46-yard field goal and an 82-yard kickoff.
Hey, great job by the defense just to hold them to 3 points right there. I mean, yes, the bad snap, probably slowed the momentum down for Legacy, but hats off to Coach Collins and them to just hold them to 3. Now, let's go down to offense. Let's go up.
First and 10 for the Guard at the 25-yard line. 1:58 to play in this third quarter. It's going to be a great finish. The last 14 minutes of this one are going to be great. Ryle in the shotgun with LaPointe to his right. They send Schluter now in motion. Reset him on the left side. And Ryle's going to hand off to PA. And PA up the middle. Once again, hey, he gets his 3 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 7.
Gains about 3.
And I tell you what, the game has been so physical.
Yeah.
And these guys are starting to wear on each other.
Yeah, I think you'll start seeing it more in this. I mean, Daniel's out there, stretching, getting into the fourth quarter. I think the cramps you're going to start seeing them a little more, and it's going to be who can weather the storm on the cramps.
Update you on some more scores here from across East Texas as we can update the scoreboard. By the way, I mentioned this earlier. Check out the NETSN app. It is absolutely free. You can get scores, weekly polls, pick'ems, links to all the shows. Longview over Marshall, 17-7 at the half. Lufkin leads Nacogdoches, 28-7 at the half. Jacksonville and Brownsboro, pretty good game, 27-14 Jacksonville at the half. Kilgore, you think they're a little upset about losing to Carthage last week? They're up 42-0 on the road at White House tonight in the first half. Mount Pleasant and Lindale tied at 21. That's a good game as well. Down the road, the Bullard Panthers, well, they're actually on the road tonight, but they're losing to Caddo Mills right now, 21-7. Back to action here now on 2nd and 7, as that is Witten in motion again. The handoff goes to Gandy up the middle, and Gandy, surprise, surprise, another 4 yards.
It brings up manageable third down, right?
Another time 3rd and 3.
That's going to make it third
so
down.
A little tempo here to get back to the line of scrimmage and
for the Guard.
See what we can do. 1:18 and counting here in this third quarter. Now check with me. You've seen this a lot, and it's been effective. Trying to freeze them. I don't. I think they're going to get. I think they're going to get a false start, Chad. I think they're going to call it on us. Nope, they did call offense. Okay, good. Or they called defense. Excuse me. It's a false start or an offsides. I thought one of our linemen might have moved.
Did you?
But they're going to call it on the defense, and their coaches over there are yelling about it too. And here's the thing. Once again, that would have been a perfect spot to get the ball to Yates. The issue was we had that other receiver on this side now and made it a little more difficult. Yeah. You got that secondary help over there. But a first down now after the offsides call.
Now they're switching out again. They keep running those linemen in and out, trying to keep fresh guys in there.
That was one of the things I enjoyed about watching their broadcast last week, going back and checking them out, was they talked about Cash Cartrade, the guy that just came in, number 62, and how well he's played for them. Ryle now looking to pass. Double move by Witten, but Ryle's going to pull it down and run. And he's only going to gain about a yard here. It'll be 2nd and 9 as we're under a minute. 50 seconds to play here in this third quarter. Clock still running.
Zach's running there right there. He's so tall. It's hard. You want to get down and get low. And right there, we just needed him to get down and be able to, hey, he got one. That's better than nothing.
Clock is at 30 seconds and counting here to play in the third quarter. Got to snap it one more time. Play clock's down to about 11 here. So Ryle in the shotgun. We do have Yates, single side receiver. They send Witten in motion. Ryle looking to pass. Setting up the screen pass. And good decision there just to throw it at his feet, because I'm not sure how much success we would have had there. Maybe lost some yardage.
Yeah.
But it does stop the clock with 18 seconds to play in the third quarter. And it's going to be 3rd and 9 now for the guard.
Freeze them again?
I mean, why not? And you got to think they're telling them to do it. And really, now the threat of the freeze is there. It slows them down at least a little bit, right? 3rd and 9. Now they press coverage here on Yates. Look, we've called a couple of good offensive plays up here ourselves tonight. But I'm not going to, on the defensive side, press Yates with that corner. Now they drop him off. Yeah, good decision there. Screen pass to Yates. And Yates makes the first man miss. Makes another nice spin move. And he's going to gain 2. And it'll be 4th and 7. As the clock will wind down here at the end of the third quarter. We have 12 minutes left to play. It has been a great game here tonight from Harrington Stadium. Brook Hill trails Frisco Legacy 24-21. We will take a timeout, and we will be right back here on NETSN. Okay, now Coach Dawkins is back on the mic here in the Alabama fight song.
Yeah.
Now, all right, now he's back. Okay, I was worried about who was over there. Coach Dawkins still there. How many times you get the AD to be the PA announcer, by the way, Chad?
Very few. I don't know of anybody.
And he does a great job. It's fun to listen to Coach Dawkins when he does that, because he really enjoys it. And I think that he, would give it up, except he enjoys it so much.
Right.
Pro kid all the time, Coach Dawkins is. As Brook Hill will punt here to start the fourth quarter. And it is a short kick that will bounce out of bounds, let's see, at the 39-yard line. So 11:52 to play, Chad. This defense needs another stop, and the field position is not great for them here, but they've held up their own in these situations tonight.
Yeah, Coach Collins has done a great job coaching these kids up tonight, and just, hey, we need it really big right here. We need to have a big stop.
And I've been super impressed. This defensive line and the different situations, the different personnel groupings that Coach Collins has put out there with the big guys up front. Now you got the little guys in there up front. The two outside linebackers, Gregory Lacasse-Grandin and Grant Gandy, have both played really well tonight on that outside backer spot.
And in this scheme, the outside backers are key for us.
Have to do it, and have to do it well. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Lawrence takes snap, hands off to Ladd off the right side, hit the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of about 2.
He's still moving.
Yeah, still churning his feet.
I'm telling you.
And I'd love to tell you who brought him down, but there were about 9 Brook Hill defenders in there. The last one to get up from the pile was Cody Clark. I'll assume he was at the bottom and the first one to make a play. We haven't talked about Cody much tonight, but what a great year Cody's had early on here. To kind of, you have to say come out of nowhere, but this was, Cody last year was not a player for this team.
Yeah.
And has played really well and earned that starting spot.
We talked about it last week. If you got a safety to come down, play the run, play it in the box, that's an extra man in the box.
And
for you.
Understands the defense is the key. Lawrence now on the option to the far side again. And Lacasse-Grandin and Eli Hall are going to bring him down. That's Hayden Watson, excuse me. Yeah, and Eli Hall, but Hayden Watson in there as well.
That's how you play the option right there.
Gain of about 2. It's going to be 3rd and 6 here for the Eagles. 10:54 and counting. 24-21, the Eagles lead. And what did I mean? I know it's hot, so it doesn't feel like a playoff atmosphere, but this is a playoff atmosphere football game tonight.
Absolutely.
Who can make the last play? 3rd and 6. Lawrence in an empty formation looking to pass. The pressure gets to him. He's going to overthrow the receiver. And Rouleau got him pretty good without his helmet on, so I don't know how we don't get a flag for his helmet being knocked off.
Great job. Hey, that's what we wanted right there. Defense bowed up. Got a huge stop for us right there.
So 10:32 to play in the ball game. And the Brook Hill defense, we said they needed a huge stop. They got it, the 3 and out. And, here's the thing. We've talked about the kicking game tonight. There aren't many times that we're going to be in a situation where Gavito doesn't have the biggest leg, but now Legacy and their punter has really flipped the field a number of times tonight.
It's a great weapon to have.
So Weisner, the return man. We talk about shifty returners. He's one of them in a high kick, and that's actually a really good kick. that's going to take a Frisco Legacy bounce again. Golly, that's just happened so many times tonight. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 13.
Just like he put it exactly where he wanted it. It didn't look great, but it was.
It's like playing golf with Jacob Agnew.
Yeah.
Agnew gets out one of the wedges, and it's just like throwing darts. He doesn't even care, like just whatever. I don't know who that was. I think you picked that up on the mic, but somebody, not Coach Dawkins, just went 1st and 10 from the Brook Hill 23, and that is where they will start this drive with 10:20 to play in the game. And this is a big drive because the way the clock is moved tonight, you may not get more chances than this.
Yeah, you've got to capitalize on the opportunities you get, and don't know how many. Like you said, as fast as the clock's been moving, you don't know how many more chances you're going to get at it.
Ryle now on the shotgun. LaPointe to his left. They send a man in motion. That's Witten in an orbit motion. They're going to hand out to LaPointe up the middle, and he's going to gain a couple, maybe just one, up to the 19-yard line. You know, there are not many defensive lines, Chad. They're going to push our offensive line around, and at times tonight it's been a stalemate or they've won a little bit. I mean, they've played really well.
We talked about it early, at the beginning of the game. These two offensive, defensive lines, both sides, you know, was going to be the battle of the trenches tonight.
You know, for us, especially, and for the coaches, you're in the game and you're watching it and you don't see all the little things. I think this is a game you go back and watch and you can really appreciate the trench play on both sides.
Absolutely.
Ryle on 2nd and 9 with 9:41 and counting. Hands off to LaPointe again, up the middle. And LaPointe fights up to the 24-yard line. And it's going to be, they're going to give him the 25. Perfect. 3rd and 3 again. So that just, once again, somehow we look up and we're in 3rd and short.
Yeah. Man of rules situation. Gives the offensive coordinator multiple things to do right here.
So here we go with 2 to the far side and 1 to the near. Schluter to the tight end on the near side is LaPointe in the backfield with Ryle, and they'll check over with Coach Copeland on the sideline, see what they want to do here. 9:05 and counting to play in the ball game. We are winding down. What a quick-moving game. We're at 2 hours and 11 minutes and almost done. Ryle looking to pass. Looking over on the far side. It is caught, but only for a short gain as he got at that time to Blake Witten for a yard. It's going to be 4th and 2 and decision time here because, I mean, I think the decision is you got to punt it.
Right, yeah.
The way your defense is played.
The way defense is playing, you've got to punt it right here. Now, our punt, you know, we haven't had the best punts tonight.
But here's the good news. Guess who your punter is?
Yeah.
He's the quarterback.
That's exactly right.
And whether you have something in mind right here or not, the defense has to be thinking about it. And guess what? Your up
if
back.
They don't.
Your up back is also quarterback Blake Witten.
Yeah.
But Ryle's going to get it away.
Great punt.
That is a good punt. That's the best one of the night. Take a Brook Hill roll.
Boy, hit him.
Did it touch him? It sure did. He picks it up to 30, and he's going to be hit at the 31 and breaks through a couple tackles and finally knocked out of bounds by P.A. LaPointe.
Well, that could have been ugly.
Man, that was very Dak Prescott saving the Eagles from scoring again last night on the interception, or the fumble, excuse me.
Really?
Hey, listen, man. I stayed up through the whole lightning delay to watch that.
I didn't. I'll admit it. I did not.
I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleased with the outcome. I mean, you don't want to lose, right? But
how do you score 24 and 21 in the first half and you can't score anything in the second? I mean, come on.
But you got to like what Shoddy's doing with the Cowboys, right? Like, they were just a different feel last night, a lot more physical.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a few weeks, I guess. 1st and 10 for the Eagles, 8:06 to play in the ball game, and they have a 3-point lead and the football back. Lawrence with split backs, hands off to Ladd off the left side, and Ladd's been their bell cow tonight, and he's going to, man, he's still fighting.
Yeah.
And he picks up 6 yards that time, be 2nd and 4. And the dangerous thing is, right, like right now, with us having Javi who can kick long field goals as well, a 3-point game, you know you can play for the field goal. If you let them get what, Chad? We're talking about 20 more yards here. Now they're in field goal range.
Right, yeah.
With Dragic. So
yeah,
that's a factor you don't really usually have in these games, is worried about that. So 2nd and 4 for the Eagles. The handoff to Ladd off the right side. And he makes a nice cutback. He's going to be a yard short of the first down. Lacase Grande makes the tackle for the guard. And it'll be 3rd and a yard. 7:15 and counting here in this one. And this is where this defense has played really well in the second half.
You also see us defensively on that defensive line, rotating people in. We're trying to keep fresh guys in there.
So they need a yard. This is a huge play as the clock is under 7 minutes now, 6:54 and counting. Lawrence in the pistol, Ladd back behind him. They put a man in motion back there, give him another. They're going to run it to that left side, and Ladd gets the first down and still on his feet. No. 40, 35, and finally brought down there as Lacasse Grandin tackles him
again
at the 28-yard line.
That kid doesn't have any give up. I talked to him about it earlier tonight. You know, if he doesn't keep hustling, you know, that's a touchdown. That's one thing I will say. Our kids aren't going to give up.
Absolutely not. Two great teams with line play, two hard running backs, or two running back squads.
Or four.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have had both running backs played really well. 1st and 10. They hand it off this time to the second back, and he's up the middle, and he breaks through, and he's going to score. Touchdown Eagles, 6:11 to play in the game.
Sam Jones.
You talk about Sam Jones on defense, but on offense tonight, he has done the job as well.
Yeah.
And
look,
that
one hurts.
Still plenty of time.
There he is, but now urgency picks up just a little bit.
Yeah, now you kind of have to lose some of the things that you like to do, right? I mean, your running game is still a factor, obviously.
Oh, hang on. Got a little flag on the play. A little laundry over there.
Oh.
Take some points off the board.
Well.
That's huge.
Okay. Well, that's good news. Yeah, appreciate Coach Dawkins there. Not sure what the call is because there's been no signal, but they did walk them back. And I know the Legacy coaches are not happy, so that helps. We know it's going to be against them. There's a lot of conversation here. It is a hold against the offense. Wow.
Huge.
We'll take it.
Yes, that's
not upset about it.
And that flag is on the opposite side of the field where that touchdown run went. And man, to make a call on that side, hey, I'll take it if it's for us.
We're going to go with it.
We'll go stack both sides right here.
So they get the yardage. It is 1st and 8 from the 26-yard line. It is a spot foul. They do stack those receivers and hand off to 32 Jones again. And he only gains a couple. He gains 3. And it's going to be 2nd down and 5 now.
Well, look, if we can hold them to a field goal right here, I mean, we still have opportunity to go down, score a touchdown, and win it.
Yeah, the one disadvantage of them not scoring on that play is that the clock now is going away more and more. We're under 6 minutes to play, 5:45 and counting. 2nd and 5 here for the Eagles. You need to stop here on defense. You got to hold them to the field goal. Empty formation, and Lawrence looking to pass. As for Jones, I'm not sure who he was throwing it to, but that was Lundqvist and Hansen both were just the ball kind of just went between those two, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're just a step away here or there from having a couple of picks tonight.
So 3rd and 5 now for this defense, and this is the biggest play of the night.
Yeah, this is a huge play.
Because, they may attempt the field goal here, and you go down by 6, but you at least have a chance.
And, hey, we'll talk about that after this down. A lot of things can happen.
5:37 to play. And Lawrence in the pistol. Jones and Ladd in the backfield with him. Oh, it's a false start. Yeah, they're going to call a timeout before it happened. Timeout for the Eagles. We'll take the timeout with them. 5:36 to play, and we'll be right back.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Brook Hill is more than a school.
I am more than a teacher.
We're more than a classroom.
This is more than a performance. That is more than a scoreboard.
At Brook Hill, you are more than a student. Brook Hill provides a Christ-centered education that more than prepares students for college. It prepares them for life. Brook Hill is a place to grow, a place to belong, a place to thrive. Are you ready for more?
Okay, back here at Harrington Stadium, 5:36 to play. 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles, the biggest play of the night for both teams. Split back formation, Jones and Ladd in the backfield. The handoff goes to Ladd at the left side, breaks a tackle. He's going to have the 1st down and more before Sidney Rouleau brings him down at the 10-yard line. And once again, that word almost. Almost a couple of tacklers back there in the back.
Just missed him and just couldn't get it taken care of. You got to bow it up right here now.
Yep, 1st and goal. And now you're really thinking turnover at this point.
Yes.
It's clocked at 5:16 and counting in the ball game. And a 3-point lead for the Eagles. Worst case scenario, you got to make sure they only get a field goal out of this.
Yes.
Lawrence hands off this time to Ladd off the right side.
Right at the line of, well,
he's going to get up to just shy of the 5-yard line. They're going to give him about 4 on the play. And that's the thing about Ladd and LaPointe too, and Gandy and Jones is both those guys, all 4 of those guys run so hard that you think you have them for a 1 or 2 yard gain, and it ends up being 5 or 6.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, these defensive linemen, these linebackers have met them head on, but it's just been a collision every time they meet.
It has been a physical game, and we expected that. It was a physical game last year as well. 2nd and goal from the 6. Lawrence in the pistol, hands off to Jones. He's hitting the backfield, and he goes down this time. I'm not sure he had the football there.
I know. I thought he dropped it.
Lacasse Grandin, first one to get to him there. So 3rd and goal from the 5. They're going to give him a yard on the play. And this is a big play right here. The clock is at 4 minutes and counting. 4 minutes to play here in this one. The Eagles have 2 timeouts left. Brook Hill does have all 3 left. So here we go. 3rd and goal from the 5. Lawrence in the pistol. Hands off to Jones, and he's not going to get in, but he's going to be down to the 1 yard line. And now this is actually an interesting decision.
You take the points or you try to –
I got to be honest. If I'm the offensive coach right here, I'm going to go for it. Here's why. Worst case scenario, I don't get it. You got to go 99 yards.
In 3 minutes.
Yep, 3:19 and counting. You got the weapon. You can probably kick it and get the 3 points.
They're probably going to take the clock.
Yeah, they're going to take that thing all the way down.
Down and call a timeout. It's almost like
it's going to be they can get it all the way down to about 2:51 on the game clock before they call a timeout. And it looks like Coach Hicks is going to walk down there and tell them we're going to call it at 1 second. As we are into 3 minutes to play here, 2:53 and counting. And there is the timeout. 2:50 to play here, and we'll keep it here, Chad, because it's an interesting dilemma, right, for the offense, because you can take the points and then you got to kick it off. And Brook Hill has had decent returns tonight, right? I mean, well, you're going to get it at 25.
Yeah, because you're not going to get a return.
But they've had looks on offense early to hit big plays, and so do you want to make them go 99, or do you take a 6-point lead and give them the ball back and they only go 75? Right. So it's best case scenario they're thinking if we run the football here, we punch it in and we're up by going to be up by 10, and then up by 10 with 2:50 left is tough.
Yeah, it's a chess match right here. I mean, this is what they get paid the big bucks for right here.
And the discussion right now in both huddles is Legacy's talking about if we go for it, here's what they're expecting us to do, so here's what we're going to do. Defensive huddle right now is here's what we think they're going to do, but here's what they might. And so it's both coordinators right now, Seneca Wallace on one side, David Collins on our side. And by the way, Coach Collins, when you go back and watch this, I'd take you over Seneca Wallace every day.
We praised you all night.
Yeah.
Let's get it right here.
You know what? Either way, we're going to be proud of you, Coach Collins, but I got faith in you right here. They are going to go for it here. 4th and goal from the 1. 2:50 to play. What is the conversation, guys? You just had a minute to figure it out. Here we go. Big moment in this one. 2:50 to play. Pistol formation. It's Jones back behind Lawrence. Big on big right here. Here we go. Lawrence takes a snap.
Boy,
high snap.
snap.
Hands it to Jones. He keeps it himself.
Everybody's keying Jones.
And that's what a good quarterback can do. We talked about Lawrence earlier and how he's not he doesn't look the part of a guy for this team, but he made the play right there when he had to.
Yeah, he's a great ball player. And that stings right there.
30-21 now with extra points come, but you still got 2:46 and 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
It's not over.
No. It's challenging.
So Dragusin to kick the point after. And it's a low snap,
what do we talk about?
Snap. There you go. Lot can happen. And they're just chunking that thing around. That is not smart. The point after attempt is no good. It's a 9-point game, 2:46 to play. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health.
Here we go, back at Harrington Stadium, 2:46 to play, and the Eagles have taken a 9-point lead now, 30-21 the score. And Dragusin to kick off after the botch extra point. And it's Yates and Mettinen back deep for the guard.
Hadn't had an opportunity to return it tonight.
Probably not going to get one here. Yeah, and he's kicked it to that same spot in the end zone every time.
Yeah, if not right there, just a little further. Either right in the back of the end zone or through the end zone.
So 2:46 to play here in this one, and this offense is going to have to get it done quick.
You got to think right here that, Legacy's probably going to be in some type of soft prevent, probably, at least too high, and have somebody over where they can get over the top of Yates, you would think.
Yeah, the first time I see 16 and Yates one-on-one again, we're chunking it deep, right? I mean, that's –
I don't think we'll see that. I think we'll have at least too high, because they know we've got to stretch the field and we've got to go quick.
So here we go now, 1st and 10, 2:46 to play in what's been a great ball game. We have had a good one here tonight at Harrington Stadium. Ryle in the shotgun, takes a snap, drop back, looking to pass. Double move, he's going to pull it down, now pass over the middle, and it is caught. It's Schluter. We got a flag down at the middle of the field, and it's because our looks like Cody Clark and one of the secondary guys for Legacy are going at each other. We'll see what the call is.
It's on them.
It's on them. Perfect. Okay, so you would think that that's –
Hey, again, it's a crossing route, that Schluter, that's his route right there. Just he's got enough speed to get away from those linebackers and pick up some good yardage.
So it's 1st and 10 at midfield, 2:38 on the clock. And here's the thing, the threat of Yates on the outside, Chad, is really what opens it up for Schluter.
Absolutely.
So 1st and 10, 2:35 to play, 50 yards away from a touchdown. Here's the thing, you can live with a field goal on this drive if you absolutely have to. But looking for 7. Ralph fakes the handoff, looking to pass, has time over the middle. The point take catches it, 35-30. Inside spin move, still on his feet, and it is going to be brought down, looks like the 26-yard line with 2:25 to play here. They're spot at the 27.
Hey, the poise that Zachary Ryle just had right there to stay. He had a guy right in his face. He stayed right in it, stepped in and made a great throw.
And it's hard to remember the man's just a sophomore too, right?
Yeah.
Ryle looking to pass deep down the field, looking for Schluter.
PI.
Got to be a flag. Throw it, buddy. There he goes.
Go.
Okay.
In the end zone. But
Still just 15-yarder in high school. But, good grief.
He wrapped him up.
I'm not sure what took him so long to throw it.
I'm just glad he had a flag.
We've been in those situations, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
It's always funny when a guy goes, my official doesn't have a flag. Well, that tells me how the night's going to go. But we're down to 2:13 on the clock. And the ball is going to be spotted. And we got to move the chains here, guys. Move the chains. There we go. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. So it's got to happen here. You need to get it quick. Ryle in the shotgun, takes a snap, looks to pass again, has plenty of time, throw it over the middle for Schluter, tipped away, and incomplete.
Luckily that ball was tipped, because if it wasn't, that's probably pass interference on number 2 for them.
2:08 on the clock here. And really, for a team that loves to run the football, they've looked pretty good through the air in this second half especially.
And the good thing about that did stop the clock.
2:08 to play. Ryle now with split backs. They've had so much success with a split back look tonight. Fake the handoff, rides Witten over the middle. Pass is caught by Schluter. Touchdown guard.
Job.
Cole Schluter. The touchdown from Zach Ryle, and it's a 3-point game now, 30-27 with 2:04 to play.
What, less than 50 seconds? What do we have on the clock when we started?
2:50 something, right under 3 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, great offensive drive.
So Gavito now will come in to kick the point after, and a chance to make it a 2-point game. And it's a big 2-point game, because now all you have to do is get that field goal at the end.
Yep. And now you've got get the hands team ready.
And Gavito's point after attempt, surprise, surprise, right, is good. 30-28 the score. 2:04 to play. We're going to take one more timeout. When we come back here, a wild finish at Harrington Stadium.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Okay, here we go. We talked about how great of a night it's been. We got a great finish in store for you here. 2:04 to play.
Who wouldn't have thought that the last 2 minutes are going to be just as exciting as the first half of it?
Man, no doubt.
It's been awesome. Hands team coming out.
Yeah, I want to shout out a couple of people here. First off, our man Ron Owens up on top with the camera work. Excellent camera work for Papa O tonight, and he's done a great job for us as always. I got a text from my wife, Chad. She said, surely the cheerleaders are getting a shout out on NETSN. I'm not sure if they have, but they do now. Cheerleaders done a great job tonight.
Great job.
Great job of keeping the crowd engaged. A good crowd here tonight. So we'll see what the special teams play is here. Coach Harrison does a great job with the special teams unit. And curious to see now what they come up with 2:04. And Gavito is going to just pooch it over here on this left side, get a good bounce. We're going to have a shot. Oh, it's going to go out of bounds. Wow. Man.
It was there.
That was the one. That's a good kick, and just, once again, the word that comes to mind, almost.
We've said it how many times tonight?
Man. Okay. But here's the thing. You got 3 timeouts, 2:04. You got to make plays here on D. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what anybody else says. When you got David Collins in charge of the defense, that's who I want right now in this situation. 2 minutes left, down by 2. You need to stop. I'm going to trust him to come up with a plan here and get one.
I mean, he's out there right there on the 40 right now, coaching them up, just like he has the whole ball game.
Listen, you work with a guy for a decade on the defensive side. You know the effort he puts into it, and you know the fact that There's nothing that's going to happen here that's going to surprise him. We may not execute. We may not make the right play. They may catch us the wrong way, but it's not because we're not ready for it. I can assure you that. 1st and 10 here at the 29-yard line for the Eagles.
We'd love to see an interception or a fumble right here, boy.
And I'm surprised you don't have Jones or Ladd back there. And they're going to hand it off, and he's going to be hit the line of scrimmage. I'm confused as to why that's the guy that's in there. And no offense, but the way that Ladd and Jones have run, and it's Jack Caswell in there. And a timeout on the field, of course. 1:57 to play. We'll keep it here. But that's, that's big for. I mean, this is a 3-play drive right here. You got to make 3 plays, and they made 1 right there.
Yep. Now you got to think all right. So looked like Ladd or Jones was over there trying to get a breather, getting some adjustments over there. With some coaches. Now it looks like he's back in the huddle.
Well, yeah.
But that's huge.
And it's almost like you just decided to punt on that play, right?
Yeah.
We'll go with it. So 2nd and 8 now for the Eagles coming out of the timeout. 1:57 to play in this one. A lot of you tuning in to watch this one tonight. I know across the NETSN network a bunch of good games, but, man, I can't imagine anybody's got a better one than we've had here tonight. And we said this in the first half, Chad. Both teams deserve to win this game the way they've played, no doubt about it. And there's so many positives to build on. We talked about the fact that now you're going to take a week off, basically, and this is not a terrible week to go into after the way you played tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, you just, hopefully next minute, 57 seconds, we can find a way to get a couple more points. But, if not, I mean, there's nothing to hang your head on for sure.
So 2 more timeouts for the Guard. They can control the clock here if they don't give up a first down. The handoff once again goes to Jones, and he's going to be short of the first down. He's going to be about a yard short. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the 38-yard line, and Brook Hill's going to take that second timeout now. I mean, both teams doing all they can on both sides of the ball. I mean, just credit to both groups tonight in this one.
Offensive lines, defensive lines by both. I mean, they've almost been the players of the game, right? I mean, them boys have been just going war on war tonight.
And this is, right, the number 5 ranked team in Class 6A, or, Division I, whatever you want to call it. 6A to me, right? But, man.
And we're number 10 in Division II. I mean, we're sticking with these guys who are a division above us and five standings above us too. I mean, it's a great ball game by the Brook Hill Guard.
We said this last week, and I actually talked to Coach Ryle about this week. But the fact that this team has come together as fast as it has is pretty unique. This is not usually – it takes longer than this in most situations. They've done it quick.
Normally 3 to 4 weeks for us, right?
Yeah.
And this team has gelled since week 1.
3rd and a yard. 1:49 to play in the ball game. Brook Hill needs a stop here to force a punt. Lawrence going to hand off to Jones. He's going to have the first down, and they're going to be able to milk this clock out now with 1:46 to play and a first down for the Eagles. I'll tell you what, though, you hate to lose a game like this, but I'm just telling you, these guys have played as well as you could have asked them to.
And another thing, a win for tonight is no injuries. I mean, in a physical game like this, you usually see some injury. All we've seen tonight is just cramps, and that can be fixed.
Man, I will say it again. Somebody has to win and lose a game because you're playing it, but I'll tell you what, man, this has been a great game, Chad.
Yes, it has.
So 1:46 to play. Brook Hill now out of timeouts. Now,
we talk about it, guys are going to be down. Nobody wants to get beat. But tomorrow, you go in and watch this on film, and there's a ton of positive things to be praised about. More, I'm going to go ahead and say more positive than negatives.
Yeah, and the good news is there are enough negatives of things you can fix, right? Because it wasn't negatives as a whole, right? It wasn't like, man, we just played so bad. Now, there were some things, there were some blown some missed tackles, especially on the long touchdown run for Jones a minute ago and things like that. But, man, if you're – like we said last week, it's never as good as you think when you get on the film. It's never as bad as you think.
Right.
But I'm with you, a lot more positive normal. They're going to run a play here, and Lawrence going to hand off to Jones. So they're going to run plays. Let's strip the football out.
Absolutely. That's what you want to get it, put it on the ground.
Gain of 4 on the play. And wait a minute. Okay, apparently we didn't call one of those timeouts.
We got
the 2-minute timeout, Chad. This is the new rule. We forgot about that. Okay, so we had one left. Okay. We forgot about the new rules.
Oh.
So Brook Hill now is out of timeouts. I was trying to figure out, Chad, why in the world are they running a play?
And y'all are probably thinking, these guys don't know what they're talking about.
Well, guess
They've
what?
Never been
You're probably,
coaches.
you're probably
right. But we've never coached with 2-minute warning, ever.
Well, I think I told you guys this last week. That's wrong. I actually, in a JV game last year at Redwater, nonetheless, had the referees give us a 2-minute warning. They were a year ahead. I thought the guys were just bad, Chad, but they really were just visionaries. They knew what was coming, I guess.
Oh, well, I don't know it. I I just know it from the NFL, and I don't think I don't think we need it in high school.
Now it's in the college game. So 2nd and 6 now. Lawrence in the shotgun. Takes a snap, hands off to Jones. Jones off the right side, gains close to a first down. He's going to be a yard short. And the 40-second clock starts, and they could run it down to about 45 seconds, I believe, here. 3rd and a yard. And so you do have one more shot here. And now here comes some of the big guys coming in to play defense. Emily Turkinen steps in. Lauren Desailly checks in. 3rd and a yard. 1:04 to play. Lawrence he can see that play clock. He's going to let it run down. Down to 3 now.
The ball on the ground.
Yeah, the ball is loose, and Lawrence picks it up, but he gets a first down. Man. What's the word, Chad? Almost. And a first down here.
They'll have to snap it one more time.
Yeah, they'll have to snap it again. And look, here's the great news. This team is going to be frustrated they didn't win the game. But I tell you what, not a lot to hang your head about tonight.
No, we play like this in every ball game that we come across this year, and we're going to win a lot of football games, and we can make a really long run.
Look at this victory formation here. I've never seen that many guys that close in that victory formation. Yeah, I'm not sure they knew what's going on here, and they're going to just take the snap and kneel it down as we're at 10 seconds and counting to play. And that's going to be the final here at Harrington Stadium. It's going to be Brook Hill falling to Frisco Legacy 30-28. And I am not a moral victory guy, Chad. Don't hear me say that, but it's not all bad.
This sting's not going to last near as long on this one that it has on some in the past.
So a quick night here, and Brook Hill falls to 1-1 on the year. Frisco Legacy goes to 2-0 on the year. And once again, we want to thank Ron Owens up on top for running the camera tonight. Great camera work for him. I want to thank all of you who checked in. Man, we have had a lot of people watching tonight. I know a lot of more people will go back and watch this game over the course of the weekend. And, man, Chad, it's going to be sad next Friday with no game to go to. But we'll be back in action. One more non-district contest back on the 19th as we'll be over in Carlisle.
Be interested to see what, get a couple more weeks, see what Carlisle's ready to do. And, I know our boys will be ready to get back on the field. They'll be very anxious, not anxious, but they'll be very excited to get back on the field.
They'll be ready to get on the field. They'll be on the field.
Yeah, they want to hit somebody right now again, and they got to wait a week.
Yeah, those guys, our seniors will take off on Sunday for their senior trip. I obviously want to pray for those guys to have a safe trip and a great time. That's obviously a special deal at Brook Hill to go through that. And those guys will enjoy that trip. And, Chad, we will be back and do it again here in 2 weeks. Once again, listen, everybody, check out NETSN. Check out the app. Download the app. It's completely free. All these games they have going on. Here's the deal about NETSN. They do all this, and they do it because they want to showcase our kids. If you're watching this game and want to help out Brett Swinney and those guys at NETSN, reach out to them. Send them an email at netsnlive@gmail.com. Feel free to contact anybody here. We'll get you in touch with them if you want to. Support what those guys are doing because they're supporting our kids, and I think it's very important to do that. For Ron Owens, for Chad Grubbs, this is Jeremy Herbert saying so long tonight here from Harrington Stadium. We will see you again in 2 weeks as the Guard will be back in action on the road, taking on the Carlisle Indians. Thanks again for watching everybody tonight. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Keeps Williams. Fights through the yards, breaks some tackles. Williams still on his feet. Williams breaks another tackle. Here he goes. He's got some blockers. Sam Williams, he ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, God. 59-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 2 for Sam Williams.
Yeah, whoa. They get set early, quickly here. Play clock down to 3. Dixon gets it off, low snap. Pickram up the middle, and there he goes. Pickram into the secondary. Pickram is going to go. He is gone. Touchdown. Macho steps up in the pocket, and he gets away from one tackler, avoids another tackler, tries to run. He's still on his feet. Camacho's still on his feet. He's still running. Camacho, goodness gracious, he's still going. Camacho, is he going to score? Wow. Touchdown. Quick pass. Bork adjusts and intercepted, and he caught it.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's going all the way.
Oh, my God. No
It's
more.
Taylor.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
And a pick 6.
Kind of stalled him out here. Brisbane got Stewart with a little.
Oh, he ran over the defender. A helmet coming off. Holy man.
Quarterback Smith. And Smith's in the gun. He's going to go back to pass. Goes out to his left. He's got a man open. It's Bork again. Caught. Bork breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 10. Touchdown, Arp. What? Here we go. 1st and 10. They're going to throw it outside. They're going to double pass here. Going deep. That's Man Scott. What a catch by Man Scott. It's a one-handed grab. He's going to go almost all the way. Just tackled at the 1. Highlight reel right there for Man Scott. Oh, my goodness, Jason.
I don't think you'll see anything like that.
Woo.
That's not an East Texas highlight reel. That's Sports Center right there.
Man, oh, man. What a catch.